1 minute. How much longer do I have in this episode? I'm not waiting 38 minutes.
Okay, we are up and running.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nerdstown. I'm your mayor, and have we got some stuff for you? Live from the road. Something a little bit different. That is why. But don't worry, people. We're gonna have a good time nonetheless. Now, I know what you guys are wondering. You guys are a day late. Well, that's because we work on holidays here. And though yesterday wasn't a holiday, and I know you're thinking 600 miles tomorrow, but I'm talking about a national Nerdstown holiday. I'm talking about May the 4th. I'll be with you all. We're going to be talking about Star Wars this episode, but before we do that, we do have, I got some good news, I got some bad news. I don't want bad news. So, unfortunately, David Allen Coe, a respected country artist, has unfortunately passed away due to a long battle with some sort of disease. I'm not really sure what it was. If you don't know Allen Coe, I guarantee you know one of his songs. They've been in some of the most prolific Southern movies, country movies. If you've seen Roadhouse, you've heard some of his songs. And this one kind of got me because, we were, 10 years ago, we laid my grandfather to rest, and while thinking of songs to put to play at his funeral service, we talked about David Allen Coe, considering that was one of his favorite country artists. So that's what got to me. But the good news, though, so there's a new video game that just dropped. That. Now, there have been some iffy situations coming from some of the people that play Fragmata. You know who you are, you know what the situations are, stop it. But there's a really good one that I read recently that came out. This guy goes by, I don't know what to say, but goes by the username of Real Dude 777. He's a 55-year-old guy unfortunately, a few years ago, lost his little girl to disease, and she passed away. And they've had another daughter, and she kind of got him into gaming, trying to cope with his grief by gaming. And she talked to her dad, Gabe Frank, and the little AI robot girl that you can create a practice looks like her older sister, his daughter. And so they bought the game, started playing with it, got to the point where you meet Diana, the robot AI character in the game. And he shared on Reddit that it feels like he got his little girl back. And him and his live daughter and the one that's still with him have been enjoying playing the game. So I get kind of emotional because honestly, it's really cool that the fact that gaming can do this for people. I mean, me and John, we're avid gamers. We really are, and we love hearing stories about this in gaming. Gaming is such a big part of our lives. It's a lot of the reason why some of us are still here. People are still alive because of gaming, and it's so great to hear a story like this, and know that it's bringing a father peace after losing his little girl. So I want to share that with you guys. But let's get into Star Wars. Ben, I'm going to let you take over so I can focus on the road here. Let's run down the story of Star Wars. Give me the basic story.
Bro, how are you going to put me on the spot like that?
I'm sorry.
How you going to put it? Okay, it depends on who you ask. Where are we starting from? Are we starting from the OGs or are we starting from
the beginning?
The beginning.
You know what? I say
because there's that there you go. There's a debate in and of itself. How do you watch Star Wars?
In the beginning.
Because personally, I go chronological. But a lot of people go.
Yeah, I'd say chronological would probably be a good bet.
Yeah. Okay. So chronological, it means everything is all over the fucking place, which you mean you kind of have to look up the fucking timeline of Star Wars. Much like you kind of do in the MCU, you kind of have to look at where everything lines up. If you want to, there's that debate too. If you want to watch things by release date or by chronological in Marvel as well. So we start with the Phantom Menace, which is your first prequel. We get. Are we calling him by name?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's go.
Okay.
Phantom Menace. Yeah, that's
Okay, we start with Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they are on the fucking hunt. They come across. I'm doing a too long didn't read, by the way. I'm not fucking going into huge depth. They run into a slave boy, Anakin Skywalker, where they basically ask his slave master to take him if he wins a pod race, and they do so. He wins the pod race over this dude. He eventually is able to convince this his slave master to fucking release him. They take him. Then Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. Oh wait, I'm horrible at explaining this, y'all. Y'all gotta jump in.
okay.
I am horrible at explaining this.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna hit everything.
So,
I'm gonna too long didn't read this shit. That's why we should have prepped.
yeah, okay, Chris.
Okay, yeah.
Chris, you focus on the road. Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, so to kind of go into, I guess, a little bit more depth. So
Yeah,
they
go
start
ahead.
out at negotiations with the Trade Federation, who are being a bunch of assholes at the moment. And then the Trade Federation is ordered to kill the two Jedi, so they escape the Trade Federation ship, make their way down to Naboo. Good old Naboo, where they meet up with, one of the most infamous / famous characters ever conceived. Going, of course, by the name.
I love Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks is forced.
What?
Jar Jar Binks is forced. I'm just gonna say that.
What'd you say?
Yeah. I have no idea. Something about Jar Jar Binks. I have no clue.
I said, first and foremost, I love Jar Jar Binks, and Jar Jar Binks hate is forced.
Yes. Agreed.
Fair. Anyway,
Yes.
so they meet up with good old Jar Jar, and then they make their way to the Naboo Royal Palace, where they meet up and rescue good old Padme Amidala to take her back to Coruscant to plead her case with the Senate, with the Republic Senate, that is.
There you go.
So while they are escaping the blockade that the Trade Federation, the droids, has set up around Naboo, their hyperdrive becomes damaged. So they go to the only place in range, which happens to be Tatooine. Good old motherfucking Tatooine. So they set down on Tatooine and start to look for a hyperdrive. They find this one parts dealer who has the hyperdrive they need. However, Republic credits are no good on Tatooine, at least for this guy. Good old Watto. Watto, that's his name. I was having trouble remembering it earlier.
Yeah.
So they talk to Watto, and they kind of negotiate a deal where his slave, as Ben mentioned, good old Anakin Skywalker, he can win the prize money in a pod race. So they go to building this sweet ass looking pod racer. And then they take to the races. Lots of shit happens. Anakin beats Sebulba's ass. And they win the pod race. And Anakin is freed from Watto. So with the new hyperdrive installed, they start heading back to their ship. Darth Maul attacks them. But anyway, they get off of Tatooine and they start heading towards Coruscant. Where they meet up with good old Sheev Palpatine. Good old motherfucking Sheev.
Wrinkly ballsack.
Well, not yet.
I don't know. Debatable.
But yes.
Debatable. Debatable. He starts out as a wrinkly ballsack, and it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Anyway. So they meet up with good old Steve, who convinces Padme to cast a vote of no confidence in the current Republic Chancellor. And they get him technically voted out of office, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So that being said, they head back to Tatooine because they can't just ignore what's happening there. So not Tatooine, Naboo. Fuck. God
Naboo.
damn. So they head back to Naboo because they can't just ignore what's happening there. While there, they make an alliance with the Gungans, which is what Jar Jar Binks is. So on and so forth. They battle some droids.
They develop some sort of peace-ish.
Ish.
Big-ish.
Big-ish. Yeah, big-ish.
It hits the fan pretty quickly for them.
Pretty much. So they send the Gungans to go engage the droids while they sneak back into the palace. While they're sneaking back into the palace, good old Darth Maul comes up and stops them again. So the two Jedi go off, go fight Darth Maul, while the rest of them go up to the palace to, take the Newt Gunray hostage or something like that. One of the Trade Federation people. They go to take him hostage so that they can stop the blockade. So the Jedi go and fight Darth Maul, and there's an epic lightsaber scene because it's Star Wars. You gotta have the epic lightsabers. Qui-Gon Jinn gets killed. Qui-Gon Jinn gets killed. Then Obi-Wan kills Maul.
None of this would have happened if Qui-Gon would have lived.
Right.
But that's besides the point.
I was about to say, the day is saved, everyone's happy, so on and so forth. Palpatine becomes Chancellor, and they tell Skywalker that he'll be watching his career very closely, which is concerning.
And it wasn't close enough, apparently, but we'll get into that.
Instead of Darth Sidious, they should call him Darth Didius. So that's episode 1.
From there we go to episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Where we're met with a older Anakin.
And an older Obi-Wan.
And a plethora of people.
Yes.
But
roughly 6 years between the two films, I believe.
yes.
In Star Wars time, that's
Right.
Yeah.
So, Attack of the Clones. Let's see, we start out with an assassination attempt on Padme. She's no longer queen, she's now a senator. Fuck, what happens after that? Let's see. The Jedi are then assigned to provide security for Senator Amidala. And of course, the two that get assigned to her security is Anakin and Obi-Wan. And of course, Anakin is got a real big boner for this chick, so that doesn't help anything.
which rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Dude,
Natalie
okay,
Portman, so fair.
Let's be real though, can we? Because I watched Attack on Clones yesterday actually. So I was just watching this and listening to like Anakin's fucking his like flirting, and it's very whiny little boy. Very.
Oh yeah,
But I'm older. Like,
I'm older. Suck my dick.
just one shot.
I don't smell like dirt and feces anymore. Come on.
Yeah,
Much.
no, for real.
Pretty much, yeah. No,
I could be
Anakin, that
cute, I
entire
swear.
movie, Anakin is fucking whiny as hell.
He's laying it on so fucking thick, dude. And then
So sick.
he gets,
You know,
yeah, he starts
we
having
still,
a nightmare.
we still love Hayden Christensen stuff. We're the
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah.
that
Absolutely.
hate Hayden Christensen.
Absolutely,
That shit
but
was bullshit. Okay.
yeah.
But in this movie, Anakin definitely has a lot of like growing up to do for sure.
Yes.
He's still very
Well, and I think that's kind of the point, is Anakin has a lot of growing up to do at this point. So
well,
anyway.
he's still like it's still very much so. Him and Obi-Wan are very at odds, and he never listens to me. Very stubborn, like kid energy.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, I mean, at this point in the Star Wars universe, so we meet him when he's 8. Right, we meet Anakin Skywalker on Tatooine when he's 8. He is now about 16, 17 years old. He's in the rebellious teen phase. Obi-Wan's like the older brother. Dude just listen to mom and dad. You'll be fine. And it's like,
right.
You know, and his big son doesn't work out because she's, you know, fucking 19, 20 years old now. And she's like, dude, no, I ain't about all that. But we love her anyway.
And here's a brief summary of the next few parts of this movie. Palpatine wants Padme dead, but he doesn't want to do it himself. So he sends bounty hunter Boba Fett to go do it. Boba Fett goes to kill Padme, but he doesn't want to do it himself. So he sends a different bounty hunter to go kill Padme. But so the other bounty hunter goes to kill Padme, but she doesn't want to do it herself. So you know what she does? She sends a droid to go kill Padme. The droid goes to kill Padme, and the droid doesn't want to do it itself. So it sends 2 worms in to go kill Padme. And so the worms come in.
No one wants to kill Padme. No one wants to kill Padme. Even this universe is
no.
Padme.
But yeah, Anakin comes in, uses his lightsaber to slice up the 2 worms. They go on a car chase of all things. Well, not a typical car chase, but they go on a car chase after this second bounty hunter that Boba Fett sent to go kill Padme.
Jango Fett.
Oh, it's Jango. That's right. Yeah. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the Elder Fett. There, bite me. The Elder Fett. So they chase after that one. They finally get her down. Finally track her down, and then Jango kills her. But he leaves behind the dart, which Obi-Wan tries to track, and I'm a little fuzzy on the next few parts of the movie.
So Obi-Wan takes and alright. So then Anakin and Obi-Wan kind of split off. Anakin goes to Padme back in the room for a little bit, and Obi-Wan goes and tries to get down these things. A friend that we all love in the Star Wars universe, the Diner. I would specifically, if Star Wars was real, would love to go to the Diner, and he goes to Dex. Dex gives him the rundown. The dart is from a place called Mandalore.
No, Camino. Camino. Not Mandalore. Yeah. Camino.
And so, made by Billy Henry. So, you know, Obi-Wan goes to the Jedi Archive and build daisies. And Obi-Wan goes to the Jedi Archives, and Camino has been completely erased from the Jedi Archives as if it never existed. Of course, Obi-Wan goes to the Grand Library Master, and he says, hey, this planet is supposed to be there, but it's not over here. She goes, if it's not there, it doesn't exist. And he gets off to the bits about information to where is and goes. In Camino, he finds these ethereal beings, the mediums or whatever that take him through the clothes that are being called for a Jedi who has not existed for at least a century at this point in time.
No, he's only been dead about, 10 years at this point. Maybe 8.
Is it 10 years?
Yeah, he's only been dead 8 or 10 years.
Well, anyway, this Jedi no longer exists. And So it's very odd that he ordered these clones. Now, Obi-Wan tries to press how long ago did he order the clone? And the people are like, recently. So the clones are being all after our bounty hunter Jango Fett. Bounty hunter Jango Fett is still there because, of course, it's got to be there for the clones, so they can clone him. Obi-Wan beats Jango Fett in a not so hostile manner. Boba Fett, who gives him a snake face, like, he's such shit, which, it's Obi-Wan, so they don't have to, Jango and Obi-Wan about to go somewhere, and Obi-Wan chases him out. That's where Jango Fett shoots him, misses, of course, but almost kills him. Have a small battle there. Then we meet back up with Anakin and Padme on Geonosis.
Well, and before that, while they're on Naboo, Anakin's trying to get some tail.
Right, yeah. I'm just about the fucking off the little daisies.
So, yeah, but then Obi-Wan follows Jango to Geonosis, gets his ass caught by Count Dooku. He sent out a distress call, though, which Anakin and Padme picked up, so they head for Geonosis, and that's where we catch up with them.
And also, I would like to add, so Count Dooku, he's actually a pretty cool guy. So Count Dooku, of course, is a Sith Lord now. But now, what's interesting is in the talks with Obi-Wan, we find out pretty quickly that Count Dooku was Qui-Gon Jinn's master. Of course, Qui-Gon Jinn made Obi-Wan's master. And Dooku being a direct student of Yoda. So, there you go. There's that little tidbit of information for you, John.
Right. So Anakin and Padme go to Geonosis. They get their asses caught. And then they're taken to the arena. They finally share a kiss. And and then they meet up with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing here?" And they're like, "Well, we're here to save your ass, but obviously it didn't go so well."
I'm sorry. Also, did we talk about Anakin's side quest? I'm dealing with my own side quest right now. So
yes,
okay, all right. Just making sure because I'm having to mute.
his side quest for Butte.
No. His side quest for his mother.
Oh.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. Okay.
So during this time on Naboo, Anakin starts having nightmares where he starts hearing his mother's voice calling out to him, and then he goes to Tatooine with Padme to figure out that she has since been sold off to a man named Lars, but he says that he has since married her. So
he freed and married her.
Further investigation, realizes she's been captured and finds her tied up, bound, beaten basically to death, and he finally gets to say goodbye, but she does die. So that is another thing that happens in the
important note. She was captured and basically killed by Tusken Raiders, otherwise known as Sand People. And after she dies, Anakin goes on an entire fucking tirade and slaughters them all in cold blood, basically. Not just the men, but the women and the children too. We all know that by heart.
and as he should. I'm sorry, and as he should.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like he was totally justified, but it was kind of an interesting peek into his dark side,
his psyche.
Yeah, his begin of his turn to the dark side.
Yeah,
is what I'm gonna call
his inner turmoil.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Geonosis, because now that we've covered everything, pretty much everything that happens, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Anakin, Padme, and Obi-Wan are all there in the arena. They set loose these I guess wild Geonosian animal or something, some kind of wild animals. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in an arena setting, and then all the Jedi show up to basically save their ass. And
but
just
they're
as it looks,
outnumbered about 15 to 1.
yeah, I was about to say, just as it looks like the Jedi are outnumbered and about to get their asses kicked, in comes the and probably one of the best scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah.
In comes Yoda with the goddamn clone army, and it just gets fucking awesome from there.
Now, mind you, when the clones come in, so I know that when we talk about clones, we've had it in our minds that, for the longest time, ever since time, that the clones have different colors on their armors, they have different armors, they have names, stuff like that. That is not his clone. The clones that we see in Attack of the Clones are the very first clones. They are the Alpha formation. They don't have names. They have all the same armor. Literally, I think they had about, and this is a little tidbit of information for you. For background information, I think they had about 20 to 25 guys in the clone trooper outfits, and then they just sat there and just digitally created the rest of them, or rebuilt them with from the 25 guys they had to make it look like almost, I would say, like 3,000 clones in this first battle on Geonosis. Which is cool shit.
But yeah, so the clones show up and results in a huge battle between the droids and the clones. As soon as the Geonosians kind of start seeing that they're and the droids start kind of seeing they're on the losing side, the leaders start to bug out, taking the plans for the Death Star with them. Giving the plans for the Death Star to Count Dooku, and Count Dooku bounces the fuck out of there. Not before he has a fight with Obi-Wan and Anakin, in which case Anakin loses his what is it, his left hand or his right? I can't remember.
His right hand.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Anakin loses his right hand. Then Obi-Wan, or not Obi-Wan, but then Yoda kind of forces Count Dooku to retreat, and he fucks off.
And then we go back to the arena where we get a saber fight, a lightsaber versus a fight again, but instead of Obi-Wan and Jango facing off, it's the baddest Jedi alive, Mace Windu, faces off with Jango Fett and eventually kills him, taking off his head.
He's like, I'm gonna decapitate you, motherfucker.
Pulp Fiction style.
He said,
pretty much.
He said, say what again, and Jango Fett said what?
Yeah, pretty much. So then Count Dooku makes it back to Coruscant, talks with Darth Sidious, or, well, as we all know him, good old Sheev, for a little bit. And then we cut back to Naboo, where Padme and Anakin are now getting married. That's
in a secret wedding, mind you.
In a secret wedding, yes.
Secret, they'll tell them about.
Not even Obi, especially not Obi.
Even though I feel like over the course of the years, Obi-Wan just kind of figures it out.
Be pissed.
Oh yeah, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan knew the whole time.
Obi-Wan would have been pissed because Obi-Wan. Let's here. Let's cut into the Star Wars animated universe a little bit. Let's talk about the Clone Wars. So the Clone Wars show, there have actually been a couple of them. So originally, before Disney picked up Star Wars, there was a Clone Wars movie, which the Disney show later would be based off of. The Clone Wars movie, I don't remember much of it. I can't find it anymore because Disney has buried this motherfucker, and it did not do well.
No, it's still there. I just saw it on there just like yesterday.
Anyway, I haven't checked it out, but it kind of sets up the universe for Clone Wars, and it's really cool. It takes an in-depth break between movies 2 and 3, which I believe about 5 or 6 years passes between those two movies, rather than the 8 that happened between 1 and 2. In this 5-6 years, we get to meet some of our favorite clones for the first time, but kind of the second time for a lot of us fans that when the movies were releasing. And Clone Wars came out, of course, after all. Anyway, we meet Fives, we meet Captain Rex, we meet Commander Cody, we meet a lot of our favorite clones in this series. You get to take on, we get the Padawan, you get Anakin's Padawan, Ahsoka in this series, and Ahsoka is a badass character. I love Ahsoka to death, and her whole story arc in Clone Wars and after with the Ahsoka show and Mandalorian. We'll get into that later. In this in-depth view, we get to see a lot more of who Obi-Wan was as a younger Jedi, even though it doesn't show those scenes. You kind of get that feel because Obi-Wan talks with his clones about this kind of stuff. We know that Obi-Wan also, much like Anakin, had a secret lover for a little bit in his younger years, named Sabine, who we do get to meet in Clone Wars. Obi-Wan, what really annoys fans, though, I will say, including me, is that Obi-Wan put so much on Anakin because he understands Anakin. And finding that out later pissed me off with Obi-Wan. Because Obi-Wan almost left the Jedi Order to bury Sabine because he loved her that much. Yet he'll tell Anakin, don't get your pussy, fuck off. Be a jester. And it's like, dude, you should know the plight. Well, whatever. That's neither here nor there. Of course, Clone Wars takes us all the way up past movie 3 or to the execution of Order 66. We're going to get into that as we get into movie 3. Let's move to movie 3 now. Revenge of the Sith, arguably the best Star Wars film. And I say arguably kind of without meaning it because it's not an argument. Anybody that says otherwise does not know Star Wars.
Okay, so episode 3, good old Revenge of the Sith. So we start in the middle of a humongous fucking space battle above Coruscant, between the Trade Federation's droids under the command of General Grievous and the Republic, the Clone Army. So we're going through this, and we catch up with Anakin and Obi-Wan, who are in their starfighters, fighting off the droids. We go through the battle a little bit. Obi-Wan kind of gets in a little bit of trouble. Anakin pulls him out of it. And they end up kind of crash landing into General Grievous's command ship, where Chancellor Palpatine is being held hostage. Let's see.
By Count Dooku.
Yes. So they get onto this ship. They have R2 hack some systems for them so they can get up there. They get all the way.
R2 the best droid ever.
Oh yeah, R2 is fucking. Love that little droid.
We love R2.
Yes, but I also will get to him. We will get to him. Love K2SO.
Oh yeah.
So they make it all the way up to the Chancellor, and Chancellor's like, "Get out of here! Like, Sith Lord's coming to kick you guys' ass." And Obi-Wan's like, "We gonna fuck this guy up." So they get through. They fight Count Dooku. Count Dooku knocks out Obi-Wan.
Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. Count Dooku knocks out Obi-Wan, and then Anakin gets the upper hand on Count Dooku. And this is the scene where we get the famous quote of "Do it," because Anakin's got both Count Dooku's blade and his own, and he's about to kill him. He's like, "No, we should take him into custody." And then, Palpatine's like, "Just fucking kill this guy. Can't have him revealing too many secrets just yet." So Anakin kills this guy. They start trying to escape the command ship, and they are caught and taken to good old General Grievous, Mr. Coffee Cofferson himself, which is a character who was introduced through the Clone Wars TV show, well, the old Clone Wars cartoon, and the Clone Wars TV show. So we get to General Grievous. They have big old fight. The droids lose. General Grievous escapes, and they start taking the ship. They take the ship and they attempt to go land on Coruscant. I feel like I'm glossing over some details here, but So
it's been a year. I'm gonna be real for me.
yeah,
We didn't make it to that one this
it's
weekend.
been at least a year since I've seen it too.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm glossing over your details, but I don't know. We'll figure that out later. So anyway, they take the ship. It breaks in half, and they end up crash landing it on Coruscant. So that brings us up to 2 crash landings in this movie now. But they get the Chancellor back. There's a big old hip hip hurrah. What?
We're doing great for ships in this movie.
Right? Not to worry, we are still flying half a ship. Yeah, like any Star Wars memes you come across, I'll bet you 90% of them came from this fucking movie.
Hello there.
Okay,
so there's
hold on,
there's
real
a
quick,
big
guys.
old.
I'm going to disappear. I'm going
Okay.
to disappear for a minute because I'm going to grab my computer and get all set up. So I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so there's a big hurrah. They want to congratulate the Jedi. Obi-Wan kind of takes a step back, lets Anakin have a day with the politics, and then Anakin's like, hold on a minute. This whole operation was your idea. Yeah. So there's meme number 2. Hang on a minute. This whole operation. But Padme then finds Anakin, pulls him off to the side to tell him that she is pregnant. Which of course Anakin is thrilled about, and Padme seems kind of conflicted about in these first few moments.
Right. I mean,
she's like, dude, this is gonna like end your career and shit. And Anakin's like,
right. Yeah.
Anakin's chucking it in the fuck it bucket at this point.
He's like I think he's just like hoping it works out.
Right. Like he's just kind of pissing into the wind on this one, and hoping none of it gets on him. Right. He's just hoping the wind's blowing that way instead of this way. When in reality, it's going to end up blowing this way.
Right directly in his face. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So she tells him that she's pregnant. Oh gosh, what happens right after that? I'm blanking. Fuck! What? God damn it!
Obi-Wan leaves, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he leaves for. No. Okay, I kind of know what happens next now. So they have. So Anakin goes and meets with the Chancellor and so on and so forth. And the Chancellor tells him that he's going to appoint him to the Council. The good old Jedi Council. The Council accepts this decision, however, they do not grant him the rank of Master, which kind of pisses Anakin off. Which, yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
So yeah, so they grant him
he's just in his being pissed off for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, Palpatine puts Anakin there to spy on the Council, and then the Council grants him the position for the quid pro quo if he'll spy on Palpatine, because they have their doubts about Palpatine.
So everybody's just kind of using.
Yeah, everybody's just trying to spy on each other, and Anakin's kind of just caught in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, so then that happens, and then Obi-Wan gets sent to Utapau, I think is the name, and Yoda goes to take care of the droid assault on Kashyyyk, the home planet of the Wookiees. Anyway. So after that, I think Anakin has some nightmares about Padme dying. So he goes to talk to Palpatine about it, and Palpatine just kind of looks at him and says, "Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?" I thought not. Basically, he's grooming him to be his Sith apprentice later in the movie. Spoiler alert.
Yep. No, that's the best way to describe it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, he's grooming him to be his apprentice on the dark side of the Force.
yeah. He's slowly breaking down those those Jedi morals that
right
Obi-Wan has built over the years.
Right. Like he's basically undoing everything Obi-Wan did over the last
which, to be
16
fair,
years.
When they don't grant him Master, I feel like it does kind of.
Yeah, I feel like that pushes him in that particular direction.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's like, well, I can't get ahead here, so
yeah, kind of.
Which unfortunately,
kind of. I mean, he's still got a pretty good moral compass on him.
Yeah. Until later on, but
yeah, we'll get into that later here in probably a few minutes. Anyway, so we catch up with Obi-Wan on Utapau, where General Grievous is. Because that's what Obi-Wan was set to Utapau to go do, is to go kill Grievous. Because they felt like once General Grievous was dead, then they can finally, end the war. Not knowing that Palpatine, of course, is controlling both sides of the war. So, yeah, Obi-Wan goes there. He sneaks around for a bit. Then he finds General Grievous and jumps down for probably one of the best lines in the movie. Jumps down. Hello there. Hello there. And you get the fight scene between Grievous and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan just kind of beats him down and ends up killing him. Finally. Back on Coruscant, Chancellor's informed that General Grievous is dead, and that Palpatine should give up his emergency powers, which he was given in Episode 2. We forgot to mention that. That allowed him to create the clone army. That allowed him to enable the clone army, so to speak, in the first place. So, yeah, he learns Grievous is dead. He does not give up his emergency powers. And then basically confirms to Anakin that he's a goddamn Sith Lord. And this is where I think Anakin's moral compass was still kind of on straight here. Because once Anakin finds this out, he goes straight to Windu and the rest of the Jedi Council. He's like, guys, this guy's he's evil. Like he's the Sith Lord we've been looking for like the last 12 years.
Right. Yeah, no. Yeah, he still definitely has it.
Yeah.
He's just like, dude, you gotta listen to me.
You gotta listen to me. Just one, okay? That's all I'm asking for. And amazingly enough, the council does listen to him. They're like, all right, let's go arrest him, because he hasn't given up his emergency powers, and yeah, and we'll trust you enough to that we believe he's a Sith Lord. So they go to confront him. Anakin, against orders, might I add, which is pretty on par for Anakin. Follows them because they told him not to go with them because of his personal connection, I guess, to the Chancellor. So Mace Windu and 3 other Jedis track him down, tell him you're under arrest. And he's like, well, no, the fuck I'm not. And they're like, well, yes, you are. And Palpatine's like, well, how about you eat my fucking lightsaber then? Big old battle where it finally comes down to just Windu and Palpatine. And then Anakin walks in. Oh boy, we got ourselves a good old moral dilemma here. Where
Oh,
Windu,
light and dark, good old.
where old Windu has good old Steve by the goddamn ball sack. Let me tell you. So Chris, to kind of fill you in, we're at the part where Mace Windu has good old Palpatine by the ball sack.
Okay, gotcha.
We're at the
By
big.
the way, how's the mic?
It sounds good. You might want to turn down your gain just a hair, like I showed you the other day.
Yeah. Is that good though?
Well, now I can't hear you. Try turning it up just another.
What about there?
That's perfect. I can hear you perfectly. Okay.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we're at the point where Mace Windu has
Good
ball sack,
good old Steve by the balls. And Anakin comes in, and oh boy, we got ourselves a moral fucking dilemma. And of course, Windu is just gonna kill this motherfucker because this motherfucker be motherfuckering.
And that's just kind of what he be doing.
Right, that's what he do. And
of course, Anakin, so versed in the Jedi ways, so willing to follow the Jedi path.
Well, not to mention
the Jedi way.
Well, not to mention that he still technically thinks he needs Palpatine to save Padme from dying because he's had nightmares about it.
Because I am the Sith.
Because, I mean, well, when you think about how he started having nightmares about his mother, and then he starts having nightmares about Padme, like, it is, like, in his head that, is it going to happen again? Is it going to happen again? So that's already being put in
right now. Mace Windu is kind of standing in the way.
Right.
Just before this, Steve kind of turned himself into more of a ball sack than he already was, because good old Windu reflected his force lightning off of his lightsaber back into his face, making him look
and
more
in all honesty, like, the shitty part about it is, a detail we honestly forgot to mention about 2, and we probably have, I mean, I've been gone for like 10 minutes, so forgotten to mention about 3, is Palpatine gets really close to Anakin. Because he knows he can turn him. And Palpatine needs someone, because Dooku is not actually a Sith Lord by chance. He's not... Dooku is not a Sith Lord. Like, he's a Sith Lord, but he's not what Palpatine needs. Palpatine needs someone that he can bend to his fucking will. And honestly, in movies 2 and 3, Anakin is still progressing. And so Anakin tells Palpatine about these these nightmares with his mother. And so who do you think put those nightmares in his head about Padme? Well, of course it was the Force, but what Anakin could not see is the parts that Palpatine was negating to show him, which was the fact that Palpatine causes all of it because Palpatine turns him and he's the one that kills her.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were like, basically Palpatine's just grooming Anakin to be his apprentice at this point. With the whole tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
For the Nashville Predators.
Pretty much.
Like I said, instead of Darth Sidious, he should be Darth Didius.
Right. I didn't know it growing up, but Palpatine plays hockey and he plays for the Nashville Predators. They actually retired his jersey, number 66.
Don't you mean the Vegas Predators?
Yeah.
I'm throwing some serious shade now. I enjoyed that joke as much as you did, Chris.
Anyway. Mace Windu reflects the lightning that Palpatine presents towards him, back at him, turning him into a massive gray ball sack. And closer to what we'll see in the later movies, which were actually the earlier movies, but again, neither here nor there.
Yeah.
In this, we have the dilemma: Obi-Wan or Mace Windu now screaming out in pain, "Anakin, help me! I'm trying to kill this dude. He's trying to kill me. Help me, Anakin! I am a Jedi. You are a Jedi. Help me!" And Anakin's like, nah, fuck that, and sends that motherfucker out
He's
the
too
window.
dangerous to be left alive.
Right. Now, this is where a big Star Wars, another heated Star Wars discussion comes
Another
from.
bone of contention.
Did Mace Windu die? Did Mace Windu die? We saw him fly out the window. Now, of course, we're on Coruscant. Leaving out a window on Coruscant, you could be 2 stories up. You could be 50 million stories up. We don't know how fucking far down these buildings go on Coruscant, but we can't see the ground.
Well,
okay,
the chancellor's office was actually pretty high up on Coruscant. It was pretty high up there, but you have to consider that Mace Windu has the fucking Force. Where he can manipulate that kind of shit. Yeah, exactly.
Not only that, but he can also imagine the amount of speeders he's passing on his way down. Personally, I think Windu lives. I think Windu's disfigured, a little bit, but I think Windu lives. Now, so this happens. Anakin completes his turn starts the true transition to the dark side. He kneels down now. He's now bowing down to the ring. He kneels, Anakin Skywalker, and spoiler alert, motherfuckers, he rises as Darth Vader.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader.
And so Anakin, now completely entranced, leads a charge to leads the charge of the 501st Legion to the Jedi Temple, but not before Order 66 is given. Order 66 is implanted in all the clones, which leads us to know that Palpatine ordered the clones. So Order 66 happens, and you find out just how many battles the Jedi were in, how far across the fucking galaxy these battles go. We go to Felucian, where Aayla Secura is gunned down by her clones. We go to
I don't remember the
Kashyyyk,
planet,
where Yoda is almost gunned down by Commander Gree, but Yoda escapes.
We go to another planet where Kaidi, Mundi, Plo Koon are all gunned down.
Right, you got where Grievous is hiding out. Of course, we just saw the death of Grievous. Obi-Wan and Grievous got into it. Really, really cool. Drops down, hello there, and then fucks his ass up. And then Commander Cody then turns on Obi-Wan and damn near kills him, but he escapes.
Right after handing him his lightsaber, which I'll bet you Cody was like, man, that was a dumb decision. I wish I hadn't handed him his lightsaber back.
Here's your lightsaber. Execute Order 66.
Well, shit.
I just gave that son of a bitch's lightsaber. Son of a bitch. I'm screwed. All right, you sure it wasn't Order 67?
And then we get it's an actual, if you're watching the movie, it's an actual heartbreaking scene. That entire Order 66.
And in all honesty, let's going back to Clone Wars, Order 66 has been the hardest scene for fans of our age, our generation, for years. Because these are the Star Wars movies we grew up with. So we got really attached to the clones. We loved the clones. My favorite Star Wars character for the longest time, and still arguably is Commander Cody. I love Cody from the first time I saw him in Revenge of the Sith. And it broke my heart that at the end of that movie, he was like, yeah, no, fuck this dude. And I went, no, Cody, why? And when Clone Wars came out and we went back in between 2 and 3 and we got the clones back and we got to have this fun again. And then they brought back Order 66. It's like, son of a bitch. And even if you watch it chronologically and you cut off Clone Wars before Order 66 and you watch Revenge of the Sith, it just guts you that much more because, God damn it, why they have to do it? I love the clones. We know that historically some clones did not execute Order 66. They turned away from that order. Whether their chip implant was fucked up or not, or they just overpowered it due to willpower. We do know some clones escaped out of Order 66, but not in this movie. We find that out in the Clone Wars.
Peg Rex is a fucking badass.
Fuck yeah. But okay, so Anakin then leads the charge with the clones to
To the Jedi
the
Temple.
capital,
The Jedi
to the
Temple.
Jedi Temple, and starts fucking up everybody. And the clones go on their rampage, and then of course, well,
not just the men,
killed,
but the women and the
Anakin.
children too.
but the children too. What do we got to do, Master Skywalker? There's so many of them.
What are we going to do?
There's too many of them.
Not just the men, but the women and the children too. I never thought that before.
As a kid, I could not understand Anakin's actions. As a father,
I know where this is going.
I get it. I love my kids. Okay, I love my kids. But as a fucking father, I get it. Okay, I go to the playground with my kids, and I swear to God, some of these kids just want to. What are we gonna do, Master Skywalker? And not just the kids, but the women and men too that raised them.
Not just the children, but the women and the men too.
But yeah, so he's raised the younglings. And now, one of the cool things about this, let's go back to Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks, again, a lot of the Star Wars actors from these prequel movies got a lot of hate from the older generation that watched the original trilogy. Those being Hayden Christensen, who went into hiding for quite a while, and Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar in the Phantom Menace and in movie 2, Attack of the Clones. And now there's a Darth Jar Jar theory, which is really funny. We'll get into that later. But we don't see Ahmed Best back for Star Wars for quite a long while until the Mandalorian series. The Mandalorian series plays back the execution of Order 66 at the Temple, and we find Ahmed Best, but not as Jar Jar Binks, but as a Jedi in his own skin, his own right, no prosthetics, nothing, getting to play a Jedi and redeem himself in the Star Wars universe. First and foremost,
not only
Ahmed
that,
Best, dude, I love you as
not
Jar
only
Jar,
that,
and I love you as a Jedi, and I'm so sorry for the hate you got.
Not only that, but he plays the Jedi that saves fucking Grogu. Of all people.
And for those of you, who the fuck is Grogu? We're getting there. Shut the fuck up, all right? Shut up and just listen. Damn, hold your horses, okay? But again, so yeah, we get to see him, again, like I said, redeem himself in his own eyes for Star Wars, which was really great. It was great to have him back, even if it wasn't Jar Jar. I will accept all the love that these guys are getting now, because again, it's our turn, and we're getting to do stuff like this and say, hey, Ahmed Best, we loved you and we loved Jar Jar. Hey, Hayden Christensen, we know it wasn't you. You were doing the best with what you were given, and we loved you for it. All right. But okay, so all this happens around the same time. Then Anakin goes to Padme as if he didn't just slay a bunch of kids. Is like, hey, you want to fuck off and make two ourselves? And she's like, yeah. And so, they go, not so. I mean, Padme's already pregnant at this point in time, but still, whatever.
He's way pregnant by this point in time.
Meet up with Yoda. Yes. Yoda escapes with
help from fucking Chewbacca.
Which Chewbacca, he's around in the prequels. He's around in the prequels, but he does not get noticeable until the next trilogy. We're getting to it. Calm down, guys.
John, I need you to add that to a soundboard.
Yeah.
I do a pretty passable Wookiee impression.
We get there, and Obi-Wan meets up with Yoda and Senator, what's his fucking name? Bail Organa. Senator Organa. And they're talking what the fuck's going on, what's happening, and Yoda's like, dude, we just lost everybody. Like, there's you and me left. We just fucking lost everybody. They watch the security footage. Obi-Wan finds out that his Padawan, his brother, his best friend, has just betrayed the Order and killed everybody, including the younglings, and he has to watch that horrific moment. Anakin and Padme start heading to Mustafar. because
No,
that's
just
the
Anakin.
Sith homeworld.
Just
Just
Anakin.
Anakin goes to Mustafar. That's right.
Yep.
He goes to Mustafar to complete his Sith Lord training or
Initiation.
introduction day one. Yeah, day one papers, initiation, all that. He's got to do his
Initiation,
paperwork there on
orientation,
Mustafar. Yeah, he's got to watch the training videos. It's a bunch of corporate bullshit, but he goes there anyways because you got to do it. You're not just going to be half a Sith Lord, so might as well get it done. So he goes there. Obi-Wan goes to check on Padme, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck happened to him. And he's like, I do, and you're not going to like this. So she tells him on the way there, and boom. Anakin lands on Mustafar, tells R2, here's an important fucking line. Stay with the ship. And that's going to be important for later. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you.
Funny behind the scenes kind of thing. That scene where Obi-Wan tells Padme that he saw a security hologram of Anakin killing younglings. Ewan McGregor had a really hard time keeping a straight face while he said killing younglings, which is why he puts his hand over his mouth like that. Because he had the hardest time fucking not busting out laughing than killing younglings.
For real, that would be me too. I'm not
right. Like I think about it every time I see the scene because I know why he's covering his mouth, and I'm like, fuck, now I gotta laugh about it. Now I gotta laugh about dead kids. Just fucking great.
You know how many times they were probably like, no, Ewan, no.
Take number 352, Ewan.
Well, I think that's why he had to end up like covering like the whole bottom half of his face when he does that scene, is because he was having a hard time not busting.
Yeah, so Anakin gets to Mustafar, tells R2 stay with the ship. That becomes important for R2 later. Again, we're getting there. So then Obi-Wan and Padme land on Mustafar shortly after Anakin does, and Padme tries to reason with him. Stop, did you actually do this? Please don't. And Anakin force chokes the fuck out of her. And not in the fun way, you book talk girlies. Get the fuck off your vibrators. Okay? He does it mean way. The mean way. She couldn't have said harder if she wanted to. Okay? He meant that shit. All right? So get off your vibrators, book talk girlies.
But can you imagine if that had happened though? Like Padme just goes harder, and like I would imagine Obi-Wan and Anakin would just look at each other like, "What the
right?" Like you see harder. Whoa! Shit!
Whoa! Okay, we're done here.
All right.
Well, this just isn't just supposed to be anymore.
I might have just killed a bunch of kids, but that's a little too far. I'm fucking with that.
Just killed kids, and too far. That's where I draw the line.
So he force chokes Padme, and Obi-Wan's like, "What the fuck, homie?" So he grabs the medical staff on the ship. They take Padme back on board the ship, and then he runs after Anakin. He's like, "You know what? Maybe I can reason with him. I'm his brother. I'm his best friend. I'm his master. I got this shit." And spoiler alert, he ain't got that shit. They have
brought
the most
peace, security,
battle
justice
ever
to my new empire.
Your new empire. It was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them.
Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness. You're either with me or you're my enemy.
Only a Sith
deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try.
You will try. Don't try it, Anakin. I have the high ground.
You underestimate my power.
Anakin's still not listening. Guess what? He tried it and he got McFucked up. Okay, he got McFucked up more than the Oilers did in the first round of the NHL playoffs. Okay,
Jesus,
he got McFucked up.
He became a crispy nugget.
He did. So gets both his legs cut off, his right arm or his left arm cut off,
like a burnt chicken nugget, but I still love myself.
Right arm. If you guys have ever watched Robot Chicken, you know what that chicken looks like after it gets run over? That's what Anakin looks like, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Except for a little bit more fried. So, they
lot
have
more
that scene,
pride.
and then it ends. The movie ends. We see the birth of two twins. One is given to Bail Organa and raised on Alderaan. The other is given to Lars,
Owen and Beru.
and Owen and
Yeah.
Peru, Lars, on Tatooine to be raised there, so that Anakin will not find them if Anakin is or so that the Sith will not find them. Because again, we think Anakin's dead. They think Anakin's dead at this point in time.
And Padme dies due to sadness.
Yeah, Padme dies due to sadness, and we see Anakin get put in the Vader suit, and we see him as Darth Vader for the very first time with that beautiful, wonderful, spine-tingling, spine-chilling breathing. And that's where the movie ends. And oh my god, it just gets better from there.
Where is R2? Is he alright? Why do you care about that droid? I put a lot of fucking time into that droid.
Right? Also, mind you guys, an important thing in movie 2 that we forgot about their secret wedding. R2 is Padme's droid up until the wedding, and C-3PO is Anakin's droid up until the wedding. As wedding gifts to each other, they exchanged droids instead of rings. So Anakin got R2, and C-3PO went to Padme.
Like another interesting note in episode 3. I think this is in like the novelization of episode 3 or something like that. But right after Anakin talks to Padme and tells her that he's going to the Jedi Temple because there's been some problems there. C-3PO like asks R2 like what's wrong with Master Anakin, and R2 heartbreakingly says Anakin doesn't talk to me anymore.
Yeah. So now we get. You're gonna say movie 4, but you would be fucking wrong. Will you let us talk? Goddammit! We're going to Rogue One. Rogue One between stories, a beautiful story, and in all honesty, after
If we're going chronologically, we're going to Solo.
No.
Yeah. Technically, yeah.
Ass. That movie was ass.
It
wasn't that bad.
Technically, it exists, though.
It wasn't that bad.
We'll talk about Solo. So in a nutshell, Solo's a dirtbag. Solo's a runner, a runner of various products across the galaxy. And then, he swindles his best friend Lando for a ship in a game of what could only be called space poker. And wins the
you were coming in like bad.
Can't be recovered, apparently.
Okay, so it's not just me, because
no, it's not just you. Like Chris is like cutting in and out. Like you.
Okay.
Fuck me, damn it.
Yeah, you sound like you're sucking Wally's dick right now.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, hold on.
I think it has to do with the internet connection, not necessarily your computer.
Damn it.
But yeah, basically, it's the story of the Kessel Run and how Han Solo gets with Chewie and acquires the Millennium Falcon. There, done. Okay, we talked about Solo. Happy?
Yeah,
I am happy.
Pretty much. That's it. Yeah. And then we get into Rogue One.
Yes.
Okay, are we back? Are we good? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Yeah, Solo sucks. Yeah, what I was just trying to say is Solo is real quick in a nutshell. Han Solo's a dirtbag. He's a runner of various products across the galaxy for some mob bosses in the galaxy. Swindles a ship from his so-called best friend Lando Calrissian that's supposed to be the Millennium Falcon, but does not look like the Millennium Falcon because it's got a goddamn fucking jettison pod on the front of it that is, I guess, unrecoverable for one.
Yeah, it's supposed to go right here. And everybody just froze up. Okay, I guess that's where we're going. Okay. Each just winked out of existence. I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, this pod that Chris was talking about is supposed to go right there.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like an additional cargo pod, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a minute since I've seen the movie, but if I remember right, it's just like an extra cargo pod that's an optional to the YT 100 or 300. I can't remember. Or no, YT 1300, which is
Yeah, I
the
believe
model
you're-
of ship that the Millennium Falcon is.
I believe you're right. Yeah. I think it is some sort of like cargo.
Yeah, it's just a cargo pod was all it was. If I'm remembering right, I could be completely bass backwards and talking out of my ass on that one. Hey, he's
Okay,
back.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with my internet. It is fucking off, so we're on the phone. Yeah. Solo in a nutshell. Solo's a dirtbag. He's a runner of various products for mob bosses around a fucking galaxy. Swindles his so-called best friend Lando Calrissian out of a ship that has a jettison pod on the front of it that is, I guess, unrecoverable because once it fucks off, it's, oh, that's the Millennium Falcon. Okay, now it looks real, and he finds his best friend Chewie. All right,
Yeah,
there we
it
go.
was just a
Solo.
spare
It's a shit
cargo
movie.
pod that was optional for the YT 1300.
Yeah, bullshit. It looks stupid. It looks stupid with that extra part. I hated it. Fuck off. Dumbass movie. All right, let's get into Rogue One. Rogue One is an actually good fucking movie that Disney did. Okay. Rogue One is the first movie that Disney
So
did.
passionate about how much
I
you hate
guess so. Yeah,
I am.
I enjoyed
fucking-
Solo. I loved it.
I didn't
I
like
couldn't
hate it
stand
that
it.
much. But
Yeah,
I can't.
I loved it. I thought
They
it was a good movie.
retconned so much about him, though. That's what pisses me off. They retconned like half his fucking story.
yeah,
His backstory, when we meet him in 4, is completely different to the backstory we get in Solo. It's so far off. So it's like, whatever. But neither here nor there. Let's get into fucking
You
Rogue
hardly
One
get
for a
any
second.
backstory in 4.
But we're going to get into Rogue One. Okay, so Rogue One is all about a ragtag bunch of idiots basically collecting the Death Star plans and putting it into... fuck off, computer. I am so pissed at you right now. Yeah, so we start off with Jyn Erso, the daughter of the man who built the Death Star.
Galen or so.
Yeah. And she's like, this is wrong, this is bad, you should not do this. And he's like, I had no fucking choice. And so, through the whole thing, she catches up. Someone else take over. I got to do Hold
I
on.
haven't seen Rogue One in a hot minute.
sorry. Okay, basically, Jen is kind of her and her father, Galen Erso, and her mother are kind of forced into somewhat of a hiding situation where they are found by the Imperial forces, and Galen is taken back to work on the plans for the Death Star because he's the one that crafted them. So it's kind of just her story after
Dad leaves.
After Dad leaves, you
And
kind
he's
of
gone
get
again.
her story, her getting back to her dad, seeing her dad again, the cacophony of everything going on with the plans of the Death Star, trying to get the Death Star to not be a Death Star. But that doesn't really, pan out for them. You get the loving droid K2SO, who's a sassy bitch, and we love him. But yeah, that's kind of the majority of Rogue One. It's kind of them trying to stop the Death Star, not really fucking making that work.
And also, Rogue One fixes a plot point in movie 4 that we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Fans have been bitching about it for years since the movie released. Why was there only one exhaust port on the Death Star? And why was it not covered? This, that, whatever. Why were they able to fire a thing in there and blow it up? And that was Galen Erso. He planned it that way when he built the Death Star. That's the whole reason they wanted the plans, is to find the sabotage point that Galen Erso put in. I'm not sounding good, am I?
No, you're sounding good. I'm giggling about something else.
Okay.
Can we just put some plywood over it? Well, yeah, but we got to think about the resale value.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why the rebels need the plans, and that's why the Death Star or the Empire is trying to keep the plans and trying to figure out where he put the sabotage point at. That's why they kill Galen Erso in Rogue One. They all end up on Scarif. Our band of misfits end up on Scarif. A blind guy that believes in the Force but is not a Jedi, and his kooky best friend who has been said to have been a former clone trooper. It has been confirmed he is a former clone trooper that did not compete or did not comply with Order 66. He was also able to get out of it.
And you get the blind man's iconic line.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. I'm one with the Force is with me.
I am one with the Force. That's how I feel, by the way. That's how I've been going through this week. I'm one with the Force.
That's fair. That's fair. So we get to Scarif, and they get the Death Star plans, and they put them on Leia's ship. And Scarif is the first planet destroyed by the Death Star, and our band of misfits end right there.
Basically leading up right to where movie 4 picks up.
4 stars. So we see, we then end with, and another cool thing that happened in Rogue One that I really want to talk about because it's so well done. Before AI, they brought Carrie Fisher back to how she looked in movie 1. They also brought Bail Organa back to how he looked in movie 4.
Not only that, but
digitally creating with stand-ins.
Tarkin, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, Tarkin as well. They digitally recreated them with actual people standing in. They recreated their faces for them and their voices before AI. They had, I will also say this, they had the okays from their families to do this. Now, the actor for Bail Organa, he just went under some de-aging process. He did not have someone stand in for him. He was still alive. He just went under a de-aging process with CGI and stuff. But Carrie Fisher, of course, this film came out right after her passing. She was not available for it whatsoever. She was only able to record the lines right before she passed away. So the lines we hear are Carrie Fisher's voice sent through a de-aging filter kind of thing to make her sound, younger as she did. Grand Moff talking, they recreated him, such as you'll see videos of like presidents singing weird songs on the internet with bits and pieces cut in and out. That's how they got Grand Moff.
For quick reference, Carrie Fisher died like the week after this movie came out.
Yeah.
And I saw the movie the day after her death, not knowing about the Leia scene in it. And I cried like a bitch in that theater. I'm not gonna lie, I was in the back of the fucking movie theater with a bunch of my friends, and we're just fucking crying like a bunch of babies as soon as fucking Leia comes on screen. But it was really cool. So yeah, they do that, and so movie 4 starts. The ship that Leia's on, we see it getting attacked just as it was in Rogue One by the Star Destroyer right in behind it, and then Star Destroyer gets it, grabs a hold of it, and everybody's running around, and we get to see C-3PO and R2-D2. R2-D2 is like, hey, dude, let's go over here. And 3PO's like, what's going on? And he's like, nah, dude, let's just fuck off over here. Trust me, motherfucker. And C-3PO's like, cool.
I want to make a quick note. We got the most epic fucking Darth Vader scene at the end of Rogue One when they're getting the plans to Leia's ship. It is still, every time I see it, like, it is still kind of bone chilling.
Oh,
Yeah.
but still
absolutely.
fucking cool as shit.
But the second,
I've been
second
thinking
best Vader
about
scene,
that scene when we play Escape Vader.
dude. Yes.
Fearless.
So, but the second best Vader scene ever comes in movie 4 right immediately. So the rebels are gearing up at the door. They're like, "All right, he's coming. We know they're coming." They cut down the door. A bunch of stormtroopers rush in. Battle starts. And next thing you know, out of smoke and the smoke and mirrors, that red lightsaber gets ignited, and this dark figure starts coming through. And then you hear it, that iconic breathing, and James Earl Jones, well, David Prowse, graces us on screen in a Vader suit for the very first time. Then R2's like, all right,
Well,
C-3PO,
David
check this
Prowse.
out.
David Prowse is in the suit, and
Yeah,
James Earl
David
Jones
Prowse
is
is in the
providing
suit.
his
James
voice.
Earl Jones is the voice. Yeah. So R2's like, yo, 3PO, over here, this corridor. And 3PO's like, huh? And there's Leia. Leia putting the plans for the Death Star in R2. R2 and C-3PO find an escape pod, and they're like, we're getting the fuck out of here, homie. And 3PO's like, huh? Watch this. Click. Boom. Escape pod shot off. Of course, the Star Destroyer's like, yo, there's higher ups, there's a escape pod going. They're like, anything on it? No life forms. Well, I'm fucking. Who cares? Big mistake.
What are we charging by the laser now? You don't do the budget carry,
Right.
I do.
So, and they land on none other than Tatooine. Oh, you guessed it. Good for you. You want a cookie? Shut up. Sit down. We're still talking.
Yeah, I could go for a
So,
cookie.
Leia then captured by, Leia Organa, captured by Vader. He's like, "Where's the Death Star plans?" And she's like, "I don't fucking know. We ain't got it."
What
And he
Death Star
goes,
plans?
"Where are the Death Star plans?" And she says, "Up yo crotchety robotic ass."
I'm a
And
member
he
of the
says,
Imperial
"Tell me
Senate on
now."
a diplomatic mission to Alderaan. You are part of the Rebel
Yeah.
Alliance and a traitor. Take her away.
Take her away. And so, that's,
I've seen this movie too many times.
we fuck off from that story for a little bit, and we follow the droids on the desert planet. And the droids, 3PO's like, dude, we should go this way. And R2's like, nah, fuck that. Trust me, this way. And 3PO's like, uh-uh. And R2's like, uh-huh. And 3PO's like, uh-uh. And R2's like, fuck you. You can stay over here. I'm going over there. Guys, I'm going home.
You can kiss the lower part of the backside that is my body.
So 3PO walks one way, R2 rolls another way, and 3PO gets picked up by a sand crawler run by Jawas. And R2 goes into this little cavern area, little canyon thing.
Ain't done nothing to antagonize
and,
nobody.
Out of the caves in the canyon.
What? Droid can't walk
sound.
down the street anymore?
Out of the caves comes Uti! And a bunch of Jawas pop out, and they zap him. They tase his ass. They knock him on his ass. And they take him and put him in the sand crawler. And we get the meetup. C-3PO with his smug ass. Told you not to go that way. And R2 says, I told you not to go that way, dipshit. Hey, yeah, here we both are. So the fuck you mean? So they go.
Both ears.
I told you not to go that way. You're here too, dipshit. And it looks like you. We're here first. Sounds about right. So the sandcrawler moves on, and it stops at this farm, and the farm looks eerily familiar to a farm from movie 2. Come to find out, they're at the large place, and Uncle Owen is out there with young boy Luke, and they're going to buy some droids, and they're about to buy R5. And R5's like, I'm not the one for you. And they're like, no, come on. And R5's like, fuck you, I'm not the one. Spit the thing. So they buy R2-D2 and C-3PO. So Luke is then told to, clean the droids, and he gets the droids in the bath, and then he goes to, fucks off for a little bit to go eat. And then 3PO's like, hey, little dude's missing. He's like, what do you mean little dude's missing? Little
What
dude's
the
missing.
Phantom
fucking
Menace
rolled
is
away.
that guy's problem?
Yeah, he fucking rolled away. So they go outside, and we get the coolest scene in all of Star Wars. I will say this: this is one of my favorite scenes. The binary sunset with the beautiful soundtrack in the background. As Luke's like, "Well, he gonna have to wait till morning because I ain't going out. There are Tusken Raiders about, and I heard something about my grandmother and them Tusken Raiders, and I'm not trying it."
John Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra, everybody. I'm gonna keep throwing them in. I don't care.
Oh, dude, they're great. So we get rid of Luke for a little bit. We go back to Leia, and there she is, back on the Star Destroyer, or on the Death Star now, and the Death Star is around Alderaan, and she's there with Vader. Vader's like, "Where are the goddamn plans?" And she said, "Where's your goddamn left hand?" And he says, "Where's the
It was his
fucking
right
plan,
hand.
bitch?"
And she
No,
said,
left hand.
Well,
'cause he
technically,
still
I guess
had
at
his
this point,
the right one's still
I guess
in
at
one-
this point he's
yeah,
missing both hands.
Yeah, exactly.
he's missing like
So
all
90%
all
of his body.
Yeah.
almost like all of it.
So Grand Moff Tarkin walks up and she goes, "Ooh, something smell like bitch." And he goes, "Hey Vader, your weapon's ready." Vader's like, "Where's the fucking plans, bitch?" And she goes, "Where's your no, we ain't doing that shit no more. Where's the plans? I got this big ass thing pointed at your planet. Where's the plans?" She says, "Suck my dick. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do poop." Alderaan blows up. And she's like, "Oh shit, he was serious.
He did it.
Well, the plans
He
aren't
did
here.
it.
I ain't got them.
He did it.
Sent them somewhere." So she switches up real quick. I ain't got them. I don't know where the fuck they're at. Okay, I put them somewhere, and then they disappeared, and I don't know where the fuck they went. Okay, I swear to God. Okay, so she starts begging for her life like a black guy with a bunch of cops. And they arrest her and throw her in a prison cell on the Death Star. I'm sorry, was that a little too meta?
I was about to say almost like a black guy.
Basically.
Shit, I'm going to hell. All right.
So we go back to Luke. All right, we go back to Luke, and Luke's out there in his little land speeder looking for the R2 unit, and he gets hit by some Tusken Raiders when he finds them, and he's like, "Hey, dude, where the fuck you been at?" And R2's like, "They're in the trees, man. They're in the trees.
You're in the fucking tree."
And Luke's like, "Who's in the trees?" He gets hit by some Tusken Raiders. And just as he's about to get killed, here comes Mr. Wizard Man. Hey, get away from him. And his long
Who
flowing
the
wizard
hell are
robes.
you?
And
One lucky son bitch.
oh, I forgot to say, while Luke's cleaning the droids, sorry, real quick, amendment to my shit. While Luke was cleaning the droids, he finds this digital image of a sexy lady, as he says, calling out for help from an Obi-Wan Kenobi.
A sexy lady with no bra. I feel like that's an
With
important
no
distinct.
bra.
I feel like that
underwear in space.
because there's no underwear in space.
And he's like, I wonder if he means old Ben Kenobi. So Ben Kenobi comes up and he goes, "Hey, dude, thanks for saving my life. This is my R2 unit," but he says he knows you. And Obi-Wan's like, I'm sorry, Ben Kenobi's like, "Nah, I never seen that motherfucker before in my life." And he goes,
to his fucking piece, might I add.
Yeah.
I
And he
don't
goes,
know that
"Well,
motherfucker.
do you
Know that motherfucker. And
know
Archie's just
Obi-Wan
like,
Kenobi?" Right, R2's standing there like,
Fuck did he do?
"Who the fuck got you through Grievous's ship, motherfucker? Who the fuck told you American, motherfucker? Who the fuck your ass?" So anyway, that whole argument happens. It's not an actual argument. R2 just stays fucking quiet. So, Luke's then like, "Hey, Ben, do you know Obi-Wan Kenobi?" And he goes, "That's a name I have not heard in a long time." And
so you
Luke's
know
like,
him.
"Okay, that didn't answer my fucking question. Do you know him?" And Obi-Wan, with his smug ass and his smug responses, well, of course I know him. He's me. So then they go back to little Obi-Wan's little hideout hut. And then Obi-Wan opens up a chest after talking about, some shit with the Clone Wars, which, okay, mind you guys, movie 4 came out in 1977. The prequels with the Clone Wars came out in the 2000s and 90s. So for somebody sitting in the theaters in 1977 going, oh, yes, back in the Clone Wars, the what?
I guess you guys aren't ready for that. But your kids are going to love it.
Your kids are going to love it. Anyway, so he goes over to this chest and he goes, oh, I got something for you. Your father wanted you to have it. Here you go. And lo and behold, it's a lightsaber. Now, let's go back to movie 3. At what point did Anakin say, hey, Obi-Wan, I'm burning alive here, but will you give this to my son when he's old enough? I don't remember that scene.
I think that's more of a lie of omission on Obi-Wan's part. He didn't even want to tell him what actually happened to his dad. He's like, oh yeah, your dad wanted you to have this.
Your dad just murked he murked a bunch of people with it, but here you go.
Yeah. He killed a bunch of kids with it.
Well, thank God Luke didn't have that force ability that allows him to see the past of whatever fucking object he touches, because he would have been like,
no, for real.
Oh shit!
He killed everyone.
What the fuck did you hand that shit to me?
But the women and children too. Jesus Christ, Obi-Wan, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ, Ben, what the fuck, dude?
So Obi-Wan's like, all right, well, we should probably get you home because if I keep you too much longer, I'm gonna look like a pedophile. So they take the land speeder back and they go back to the house, and lo and behold, Owen and Peru are out on the front yard, just laying it all out. No clothes, no nothing, but no skin, no bones, no bones,
no skin, no muscle.
They were fucked by some stormtroopers. And not in the fun way, book talk girlies. Put your dildos away. Jesus Christ. It's not that kind of discussion.
I mean, it was the Empire. They could have been fucked in the fun, not so fun way, and then set on fire. You never know.
So, Obi-Wan's like, well, we can't fucking stay here because they will double back and see if anybody comes over here and also lives here. So, probably look for the droids. So we should not stay here. So they go into the main town of Tatooine, which looks completely different from when Anakin lived there, because, well, again, about 20 years has passed, so, it should look different. If it doesn't, they're not doing it right. And they walk into a bar, and they're told, we don't serve their kind around here. They're like, what the fuck you talking to like that? These folks, no, the droids. Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, okay, you guys get out of here.
You fuck. Man, I'm so sorry. But before they get to the bar, of course, they're in the land speeder and they're trying to get through, and the stormtroopers have already set up they're trying to find the droids, and they're like, we need to know about these droids. And everyone's like, these are not the droids you're looking for. And
no, you don't.
These are not the droids we're looking for.
No, you don't.
You may pass.
Okay.
You may pass. Thank you. You're welcome. And they go to the bar, and of course, we don't serve their kind around here. What the fuck? Just because he's black? No, the droids. Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. Okay. Yeah. You guys wait outside.
You brothers wait outside.
So they go and they try to find a space pilot. And these two dudes at the bar, Luke's trying to get a drink. He's had a long day. His aunt and uncle that raised him, they kind of just got murked, so he needs a drink. And this one dude's like, my friend doesn't like you. It looks like, okay, and? Matter of fact, I don't like you.
I don't like you either. You don't even know me. You know what? That's right.
And so they try to attack him, and he cuts the guy's arm off. And it gets real quiet in the cantina. Until the cantina man's like, encore. All right, the same song. And then Obi-Wan's talking to our good old friend Han Solo, who is better
And the only
Because-
actor whose career isn't completely destroyed by this movie.
That is which is distasteful. I'm sorry. I love that joke. Don't get me wrong. I love that joke in Seth MacFarlane's Star Wars retelling. But that is so distasteful to Mark Hamill and the voice acting he has put in on this earth. But okay, all right. So he's talking to Han Solo, all right? And Solo, in this version of Star Wars, is a hell of a lot cooler than the Solo version that Disney trash put out. But okay, nevertheless. So, Solo's like, yeah, I got a ship. We can be ready in like, Chewie, how long is it going to take you to finish that steak? About
Waka waka. Okay,
5 minutes. And so he's like, all right, cool, we're going to go. And everyone's like, hey, dipshit, Killer McGee, come here. We gotta go. Go get the droids. So they go get the droids, and they go to the Millennium Falcon. Chewie, Han, Luke, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the droids. And all right, they don't need to take off fast. They can take the time because nobody's shooting at them. Oh shit, they're shooting at us. So they what the fuck out of there. Where are we going? Alderaan. Okay, let's go to Alderaan. They get to the space where Alderaan is, and they're like, well, this isn't Alderaan. This is a fucking meteor belt.
Oh, look, it's an asteroid field out there.
It's Alderaan. I promise to God, it's Alderaan. It's what's left of Alderaan. This is where things get fuzzy for me, so I'm going to go get me a drink.
Okay. So after they encounter Alderaan there, they encounter some TIE fighters. And they're like, well, let's go blow this up before they can tell anybody about us. So they go to blow these TIE fighters up, and then they're caught in a tractor beam. They start approaching something that looks like a moon, but as Obi-Wan clearly,
that's
space station.
Space station, spaceship, same fucking thing.
And so they get caught on a tractor beam and they get pulled into the motherfucking Death Star. Sorry.
How convenient.
How convenient, exactly.
Yeah.
Almost like the plot demanded it or something.
Almost as if it was supposed to happen all along.
Right? So they get onto the Death Star, and Darth Vader's like, I haven't felt a presence like this since. Shit, that motherfucker's here again. God damn it.
He's like,
let's see. Which two piss ants are on the lower totem pole? T-34 and T-35. All right, you two, go check out what's inside there. And of course, they don't find anything.
T-421.
Until Han and Luke jump out and go.
Nice bitch.
Does this rag smell like chloroform? And he's down. All right, let's grab their armor. So, fortunately for them, their armor fits these two stormtroopers. Get to wear their armor for it fits Han and Luke perfectly. So Han and Luke go about the station with Chewie, and they're like, all right, we're gonna have to arrest you. And Chewie's like, bitch, just because I'm black? Really? That's fucked up. That's racist. This ain't how this is gonna play. And like, dude, just chill. Nah, I ain't chilling about what you do. So they arrest Chewie. And they carry him through to the cells because, that's where Leia is.
Although I think it would be really fucking funny if they tried to put Chewie in a stormtrooper suit. That would have been funny as fuck. That would have been funny as fuck. Could you imagine a Wookiee sound coming from the stormtrooper mask?
What the fuck did he just say?
So they go, and they get to the prison cell where Leia's at, and they shoot a blast. Han shoots the only guy there, and then of course Control's like, "What was that?" And Han's like, nothing. Everything's all good down here. How about you? I'm having troubles with my. Well, why do you think it's like that? Well, Luke goes down the hallway to find Leia, and he breaks into her cell. And she's a fucking hormonal bitch. And
aren't you kind of fat? Aren't you kind of fat for a stormtrooper? Fine, stay here and rot, you bitch.
Aren't you kind of short for a stormtrooper? Now, this line was hilarious in 77. It's hilarious in 2026. But what's really fun is a lot of people have done math on the heights of people that have played Sith and the people that have played anything but Sith. And the only motherfucker that is not Sith that is over 6 foot in this universe is Samuel L. Jackson, who of course played Mace Windu. Everybody else on the Jedi is under 6 feet, and everybody on the Empire side and on the dark side is above 6 feet, which also alludes to the Darth Jar Jar series of memes, but we'll again get into that later. So, okay. So she's like, "Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?" And he's like, "Okay, that's cool. I'm here to rescue you, you fucking whore. You gonna come or you want to stay
fine.
here? I don't
Stay
give
here
a
and rot.
Damn,
Stay
that's
here-
why I came here.
Stay here and rot,
Fucking
you stuck up bitch.
Right. I thought you were hot, but now you're just a bitch. So we're gonna go this way. And they finally get caught by the stormtroopers because Han's lie didn't stick around and the radio show was not that good. So they're like,
Boring conversation anyway.
And-
Chewie, we're gonna have company.
and so they get bogged down. There's no way out except the trash chute. And of course, Miss Princess is like, no. I'm not going in the trash chute.
Oh no,
And
the
Chewie
princess was
says-
the first one to go down the fucking trash chute.
Yeah, but beforehand, she's
Chewie was like,
"I'm not-
no fucking way.
This is Sparta! And kicks her down the fucking trash chute. Then Chewie, then Luke, and Han, and not Obi-Wan, because he's somewhere else trying to disable the station, but it's not
He's
working.
trying to disable the tractor beam so that they can escape the Death Star.
Yeah. And so they get stuck in the trash chute. Luke gets pulled under, and it's a sopping wet mess. Stop it, book talk girlies. Stop it. It's not that kind of conversation.
You know, we
So,
could
Ken-
have a counter every time he says that.
There's a counter in my head.
How many times have you said it? 3.
I mean, look, in all honesty, if you take Star Wars out of context, it is a book talk thing.
Well, if you ask some people, it still is. So
That's
they be
true.
making,
That's
fanfic.
Yeah, but yeah, so this tentacle monster drags Luke under the water. He survives. They're about to get closed in on, and then he's radioing R2 like, "Yo, homie, you got my dad out of some shit. I don't know that yet, but you got my dad out of some shit. Get me out of this shit." And they're screaming and they're crying, and then R2 gets it done. And then they start yipping and hurraying and yay. And
C-3PO
thinks,
is like, "Oh fuck, you're fucking killing him, dude! What the hell?"
Yeah! Killed him. Oh, fuck, R2, you're such a dick. And then they radio again, like, all right, cool, we're good. And 3PO's like, I wasn't freaking out. You were freaking out, you blue bitch.
So now let's go get high.
Yeah.
You still got that? You still got that bag I gave you?
So they all make it to the Millennium Falcon, and they're waiting on the old dude. And you know, Han's like, "Where's the old dude?" And Luke's like, "Oh no, oh he's right there." And then here comes that breathing again, and here comes David Prowse with James Earl Jones's voice saying, "Hey, you, I've come to kill you, you fucking piece of shit." And Obi-Wan's like, no, Luke, I got this. Luke's like, I got your back, homie. And he goes, no. We got this. It's okay. Shh, I got this.
Would you just stay the fuck over there and shut the fuck up?
And he sticks his blade up and he lets himself get killed and gives Luke a lot of emotional trauma because the only other person in his life that's ever cared about him just deleted himself. Yay! So, Obi-Wan, goes into a bunch of clothes on the ground, and then that's it, and then they blast the fuck out of there. Then they go meet up with the rest of the rebels, give them the plans, and then they start making way for the trench run, which is arguably one of the best things in Star Wars. It is
one
so
of the
cool.
coolest
And
scenes in this entire movie.
Yeah,
Every time I'm driving at night, especially through an area that's like a fucking canyon, you get a little straight shot. I'll flip my visor up, and Luke, you've turned off your targeting. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. I'm
So,
okay.
yeah, they
Time to
start the
go.
trench run. And so the Death Star plans are given. They find out, hey, if you shoot this little porthole, you shoot this little exhaust port, it's going to take the little bomb all the way down to the cherry and pop it. Pop it worse than your sister's was. Okay? Shit. So they fly through the trench run. Vader and his TIE fighters kill Porkins. Porkins was cool. We liked Porkins, but that's okay. Red 6 for anybody wondering. And in preparation for the trench run, all right, everybody, check in. This is Red Squadron, check it in. Red 1, go. Red 5, check it in. Red 2, check it in. Yeah, you get all these fun characters. Red Danelise is Red 2. Luke, of course, is Red 5. So they're, in the trench run. Vader's about to kill Luke. And then all of a sudden, Vader's wing gets shot off, and he goes, Team Rocket is blasting off again. And who other than the Millennium Falcon and Han Solo, who wanted nothing to do with this shit. But he's stuck now because this girl was sucking his dick, and she said, he saved my life, you save his. He goes, I don't fucking care. You tell me what to do as long as you're down there. So, yeah. Luke then fires the fucking torpedo. It goes into the tube, and boom, there's a baby. No, not really, but the Death Star's gone.
There is an explosion of some kind.
And that's movie 4. And you think, hey, it's all done and over with, don't you? No.
It
There's
seems
2
like
more
it's
movies.
done and over with.
Shit. Let's go to movie 5. The Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Probably, out of the original trilogy, probably the best regarded movie out of the original trilogy is Empire.
But underrated as a whole in the conversation about the Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love Empire. I truly
Empire is fucking great.
Yeah. So we start off Empire with Han, Luke, and Leia on this ice planet called Hoth with a booby titty gun aimed up at the sky.
And he goes, hire the giant boob nipple gun.
I trust the boob. So they're patrolling Hoth, making sure, the Empire that's stuck around, even though their biggest weapon
I'm
was
sorry,
guns,
who are you trying to reach?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who are you trying to reach? Luke, Carlos Spicy Wiener. Carlos Spicy Wiener here, go ahead.
So Luke's patrolling, and he's like, hey, we got, kind of a thing over here.
Yeah, there's an asteroid over here. I'm going to go check it out.
Han and Chewie are patrolling first. And when they see an Imperial droid drone, and they blow it the fuck up before it finds out anything. They radio back to base, so they start patrolling and everything. Luke goes out on his patrol, and he goes a little too late at night. Or no, he stays out a little too late. And Han's like, he's still out there in this. Somebody should go after him. So we find, Solo finds Luke, kind of unconscious with a dead Tauntaun. And, he slices the Tauntaun open. Carl, that kills people. What? Oh, I did not know that. How can I not? Oh, that is on me. I am so bad.
Last time I was in a Dago bar, I was drinking a beer in Little Italy. All right, you get out of here.
There's so many white comedians in the snow. And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
I thought they smelled bad.
He slices it on. Don't you fucking do this. He takes it fucking forever. On the outside. For those of you that are wondering, Seth MacFarlane parodied Star Wars: A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi on Family Guy, and honest to God, for a show that runs 45 minutes, summed up those movies beautifully. That you understand everything that's going on without having to watch the full 2-hour movie for these things. It did it in 45 minutes. Took 2.5 hours into 45 minutes and did it beaubeautifally.
That's the references we keep
that's
throwing
where most
in.
of these references from John are coming from. Some of the ones from me are coming from. Because again, they're great. Of course, Seth MacFarlane's going to get his jokes in. So, but yeah. So slices the tauntaun open, pulls out its guts, and puts Luke in the tauntaun and says, "Sorry, kid, but you're going to thank me later." And so the next morning, they're found. They get brought back into the base.
Han goes skiing with some skiing young people.
Luke is pulled out of the back of the tank when he's feeling better, and he's sitting there, and Han and Leia come in to check on him, and they're arguing, and she goes, "Well, you don't know anything about women," and then kisses Luke. Now,
you see, there's a problem with that.
For you. You know what? No, I'm not going to spoil it yet. We're not going to spoil it yet. We're going to wait till the end of the movie, like everybody else had to. So
we technically don't even find it out until the next movie.
That's true, yeah. So Leia kisses Luke, and Luke just sits back. Yeah, that happened. And he does. Watch the fucking movie.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm having too much fun. Where did he go?
Who is our runner?
A track star.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he go.
I'm like, where'd he go?
Where'd he go?
Sorry. My parents just got home. I fucked off a little bit early so I can get on the podcast with you guys. My parents just got home. So okay, yeah. So you know, Leia kisses Luke, and he sits back with his smug self, like, yeah, looking directly at Han, like, you know, and Han's like, all right, fuck this shit, I'm out. And he tells Chewie, get the keys. And Chewie's like, we got to fix the part real quick. And he goes, I don't give a fuck, get the keys. We're fixing this first so we don't break down in hyperspace later like every other goddamn time with this fucking bird. Okay, this goddamn thing hates hyperspace, and this gonna fix it. So you gonna let me do my job, or your ass gonna be caught in hyperspace, not me. Suck a dick. So, Chewie finishes fixing it. Han and Chewie are like, all right, let's get systems ready to go. Han ultimately decides not to, and that's when the Empire attacks.
Imperial troops have entered the base. Imperial troops have entered the base. Imperial troops. Sorry, I dropped the thing. Imperial troops have entered the base.
Who's ever Y-wing is parked in the red zone, please move it immediately. Imperial troops have entered the base. So they get ready, and a bunch of the coolest machine that the Empire has is seen in this movie. The AT-AT Walker.
The
AT-AT. The AT-AT Walker, which is basically a giant metal camel with lasers.
Hey, Jim, look, giant robot camel.
A giant metal camel with freaking laser beams on their head.
So, I mean, as long as they don't come at us with giant robot camels, I think we'll be okay. Hey, Jim, look.
Oh, shit, giant
robot camels. Hey, check it out. That one's wearing Crocs.
I honestly would love that.
We get to see
Can you paint me a picture?
Watch Family Guy Star Wars. You'll see a fucking AT-AT wearing goddamn Crocs.
Yeah, an AT-AT wearing Crocs. I got you. Hold on. Y'all keep going.
Yeah. So the battle happens. Luke pairs up with a tail gunner called Dak. And Dak famously says, well, I think I could take on the whole Empire by myself. And of course, in the Family Guy version, hey guys, Dak says he's got this.
He's got this one.
And Dak goes and gets shot. But
Get
in the
ready
show
to
version,
suck
so
some
Luke and Dak
dak.
get in their fucking snow speeder. They get into their snow speeder, and the object of it is to down the robot camels. You shoot a wire at their legs, and then you run around them like a dog on a leash, running around you and tying you to the fucking tree. Because good luck getting out of that one, homie. So they down a bunch of these camels, not before a camel downs Dak and Luke, killing Dak. Luke escapes, gets inside of the camel that shot them down, and cuts everybody up, and the camel goes down, and then it goes boom. And they all get away.
There you go, Ben.
While Luke was laying in the snow, though, waiting for Han to come rescue him, he saw, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi as a Force ghost telling him, go to Dagobah, your training will be finished there. So as Leia, Han, and the rebels escape, Luke goes to Dagobah. And we follow Luke to Dagobah to meet a wise old Jedi Master by the name of Yoda. And Luke gets there, and he's trying to see, but he can't see because Dagobah is really swampy, and it's foggy, and he crashes in the fucking lake. And him and R2, they get out of the X-Wing. R2's, reasonably pissed. Like, dude, what the fuck? Why? And, it's all cool. So, Luke's like, we gotta find this guy, this little green guy, or this guy. We gotta find this guy, Yoda. And up on a log is this little green guy. And he goes, hey, man, you speak English? Green guy. Me? No sé, no, ¿cómo se dice? No speaking of English? Not really. But, hey, you know this guy named Yoda? Oh, Yoda, you say yes. Yoda, I take you to him.
No, I'm totally not.
And then,
no, I'm
they
not
set up
Yoda.
camp for the night. And,
okay, yeah, I'm totally Yoda.
Okay, I'm Yoda. So they set up camp for the night with Yoda, but they don't know it's Yoda yet. And Yoda starts going through his shit. He goes, hey, stop it. Come on, just take me to Yoda. If Yoda you seek, Yoda you have found. And so, the crazy little green dude is like, yeah, no, it's me. I got you. And he's like, oh, I was sent by Obi-Wan Kenobi to finish my Force training. Yoda's like, and I thought
Let's
your
be
father
for
was
real,
old.
though. Yoda's just been sitting around waiting to fuck around with somebody.
Oh,
Yoda's
yeah.
just been waiting. Oh,
Swear to God, Yoda has like fucking dementia or something with the.
I feel like both Obi-Wan and Yoda, we're both just waiting.
Right.
Wait for this.
So, he tells him, yeah, Obi-Wan sent me here to train with you. And Yoda looks at him like, God damn it, I thought your dad was too old for the youngling program. Holy fuck. All right, I guess I can. I will. Whatever.
I'm not going to train you in
Obi-Wan
the
said
Force.
I had to.
Okay, I'll train you in
I'll
the
train you.
Force.
Whatever. So they go through a whole training montage. We get the, sexy Luke in his little tank top with Yoda on his back. Stop it, book talk girlies. Stop it.
Oh, wait, where's
He's in
the
a
counter?
backpack.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in a backpack, not on his back. Okay. All right. So, Yoda's like, hey, you go through that tunnel, you'll face your greatest fear, and you'll become a Jedi. And Luke's like, all right, cool. So he goes to the tunnel, and he hears that breathing. He thinks Vader's found him. This has been a whole fucking setup trap. Vader's there. And Vader appears. And Luke gives him the old 1-2 with the lightsaber, cuts his head off and splits the mask open. And lo and behold, in the Darth Vader mask, it's not Anakin, it's Luke. Luke is in the mask. What? I'm Vader? No, you dipshit. Jesus fucking Christ. That's not what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but it stops the movie dead and kind of kills the plot for... You and I will settle down.
So, while that's happening, Han and Leia go see an old friend and the only black guy in the galaxy. Thank God. Whoa! Again, that's a Family Guy reference, people. That is a Family Guy reference.
He's like, before you cancel.
In fact, I think he might be the only black guy in the whole galaxy. Let's hope, right? Whoa!
So they go talk to Lando. Lando's like, yeah, I can house you guys. And Lando, remembering that old space poker game from years ago with Han, where he lost his ship, is like, yeah, I'll house you. Not a problem. I'm not double crossing you. I swear to God.
And this is Sarge over here.
I'm not double crossing. You guys can stay. So he gets the full treatment, and and then Luke is on Dagobah, and he's like, hey, I feel like my friends are in trouble. And Yoda's like, dude, if you go, I'm not gonna continue this shit with you. I swear I won't do it. You can kiss my ass. And Luke's like, well, I gotta go. And Yoda's like, deuces then, bitch. Come back and see what the fuck happens. Swear to God, I won't be here. And so Luke goes to Dagobah, or goes to Cloud City to help his friends. Yeah. Luke goes to Cloud City to help his friends, and Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite as they get double crossed by Lando. He's been sold out to the Empire, and the Empire sold Han out to the Hutts because Han's been helping the rebels. So fuck him too. So Boba Fett,
I love you. Fuck off.
Fuck off. I love you. Fuck you. Yeah, gets frozen in carbonite. And then, of course, the actual famous lines are, I love you, I know.
I prefer the Family Guy version.
Frozen in carbonite is given to Boba Fett, Jango Fett's son, that also now works for the Hutts, and is carted off to Tatooine, to Hutt's palace. We'll catch back up with him later. Leia and Luke, kind of find each other, and then Luke realizes, oh, Vader's here? Let me go take care of that real quick. So Vader and Luke have a fight there in the trash system of Cloud City, which is just some big-ass fucking industrial tunnel that just everything funnels down to the planet below. And much like Anakin lost his right hand, Luke in this battle loses his right hand. And after cutting off his fucking hand, Vader goes, I need to tell you something about your father. And Luke goes, I know
wait a minute.
You
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. And Vader's like, no, I fucked your no. Vader goes, no, I am your father. And Luke's like, nuh-uh. Vader's like, uh-huh. Nuh-uh. Uh-huh.
Me not.
The fuck you mean nuh-uh? That one's Robot Chicken, bitches.
You mean nuh-uh.
So Vader's like, hey, I know I just cut off your hand and kind of destroyed your whole life. But so now that you know I'm your dad, you want to come rule the galaxy with me? And Luke's like, no,
dudes with
I'll
raging
never
goals.
join you.
We could just be two dudes with raging goals, just ruling the galaxy together.
And Luke's like, no, I'll never join you. And he lets go of the thing he's on. And he gets sucked into one of the little side ports on this big industrial tunnel. And
hey, have you seen a hand down
he finds himself upside down.
No.
Nope. He finds himself upside down outside of Cloud City. And Leia, with Chewie on the Millennium Falcon as they're trying to escape, goes, Chewie, I know where Luke is. We got to turn around.
Turn the ship.
For fuck's sake. And so, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to need some tunes. So he puts on the fucking radio, and of course, turn the ship around.
Leia knows where Luke is. Turn it upside down. Fly it back to Bespin. Sorry, I had to get the whole thing in.
They get up to this guy hanging upside down on these wires below Cloud City. And Leia's like, Luke, if that's you, can you wave your right hand? And Luke's like, bitch, no, it's me. Just open the fucking hatch.
No, your right hand. No, your right hand. It's me, you fucker.
So they open the hatch. They bring Luke in. They meet back up with the rebellion, and Lando goes with them as well. Lando's with them, and they meet back up with the rebellion. And Lando and I don't know why. They've never explained this in the movies whatsoever. And you
Commented
don't
on in the
realize it.
Family Guy version.
Yeah, you don't realize it until you watch the Family Guy version. But Lando is wearing Han's clothes when they pull up to the rebellion to give Luke and Leia over so Luke can get a prosthetic right hand like his dad.
Seriously, watch the actual movie. Lando is wearing Han's clothes in this scene. It's really weird. You're muted, bud.
Oh,
but yeah. So Luke gets a new prosthetic hand. So the doc tells him, yeah, just practice on a hot dog first, otherwise you might rip your dick off.
And that's the end of the movie.
Practice on a hot dog first, otherwise you might rip your dick off.
So here we are. We're now on movie 6, Return of the Jedi. Now, this is the last installment of the original trilogies, 4, 5, and 6. And this would be the last installment of Star Wars chronologically for a long time. This was before Rogue One. This is before Han Solo, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6 were all we had until 2017.
Yeah, Yoda was in charge of marketing on that one.
Right. Yoda, what how should we release the Star Wars movies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6 you will. 4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, 6.
And then
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So we meet up with R2D2 and C3PO walking on Tatooine again. This time unscathed by the Jawas, right up to this giant ass fucking door in the side of a goddamn mountain. And they ring the doorbell, and
little droid popped out.
Come on in.
No. Oh no, I think Jabba lost his cat. Kitty.
So they get brought in, and then they're enslaved. And so
can he legally do that? I mean, he technically stole us from his dead uncle.
Right. So then we see another nefarious person in some really cool armor walking through Jabba's palace now. And or is that later in the film? Hold on. I'm trying to think about where
are you talking about Boba?
No, Leia.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of close. Yeah, like, yeah, they get enslaved, and like, yeah, Boba's there. I think I think Boba's armor is cooler than Leia's armor. But
well, yeah, but again, we don't see this anywhere else in Star Wars.
But Leia sneaks in that armor.
Yeah, Leia sneaks in the armor, and she walks down while everyone's asleep to try to get Han out of the carbonite.
And then she's caught
and gets caught. And she's enslaved. In the sexiest fucking outfit ever. But we'll get to that.
If you've never had a fantasy about this outfit, you're fucking lying. Like, that's all I'm going to say.
You're either lying or you've never seen Star Wars ever in your life. And I don't know how.
In which case, what are you doing here anyway?
Right. Those are literally the only two options.
So okay.
Or you're gay. Or you're gay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gay, you can still fantasize about another guy in that outfit.
That's true.
You know, that's valid.
That's true.
We like to be progressive. We like to be progressive here at Nerdstown.
That's fair. You know.
So as the public relations person, like, yeah, you can picture a guy in that outfit, even if you're gay.
You know what? Honestly, actually, hold on a second. I've got something for y'all.
Oh God. Suddenly, I regret saying whatever the fuck it is I just said. And then, especially because Chris is like, I got something to show you guys. I'm like, fuck, I regret saying that now.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get flashed by something.
Right, exactly. We're about to get flashbanged here, people.
You are not gonna get flashbanged, I swear. It's
It's
not
gonna
that
be
bad.
like a dude double
You know,
caked
that's
up.
exactly what you say every time before we get flashbanged.
What? No, I don't. I do not.
God damn it.
A dude and his wife, both dressed up as Hut Slayer Leia. So,
It's a
okay,
vibe.
someone else take over from here because I'm fuzzy.
Okay, so they all get captured. Han does get freed from the carbonite because she got him out of there before she got caught, and then they all got caught, and then Leia gets put in the bikini.
It's put in the bikini.
Well, she does.
Yeah.
So then they all go out on Jabba's barge out to the Sarlacc pit. Because Luke tries to come in after him too, and he gets his ass caught. So they're all out on Jabba's barge, and they're about to be sacrificed to the Sarlacc, which is this big, disgusting, butthole-looking monster, in the middle of the sand. And then we get, I feel like, one of the coolest scenes in this movie, where they all start nodding to each other while the music's going. It's pretty badass, if you ask me. And then R2 gets Luke's lightsaber ready, and just as Luke's about to pop off, R2 pops out Luke's lightsaber, his new lightsaber, because he lost the other one in the last movie.
No, man.
And Luke does this cool little flip thing, reaches up, grabs his lightsaber, and ignites it, and it's fucking green. It's coolest fucking moment in this movie, arguably. Yeah, and then he just starts going fucking full on slasher, just starts fucking killing everybody. With his new green lightsaber.
Yes. Sorry. My cat gassed me.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go smoke.
But yeah, one of the coolest scenes in the frickin' movie is when, R2 shoots out Luke's lightsaber and he does a little flip catch it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then while all that's going on outside, Leia, again, the reason it's called the Hut Slayer Leia outfit instead of the golden bikini is because she's wearing that as she wraps the chain she's tied to around Jabba's neck and strangles the slug to death.
You know, my headcanon tells me that Jabba enjoyed every second of that. Because I would.
Look at his eyes. He enjoys it. This one is for you, Book Talk girlies. This one is for you.
Like a million.
You can
That
have this.
doesn't count on the counter though.
No, it doesn't. But he sticks his slimy tongue out, and that's not for you, Book Talk
And
girlies.
his tail shakes around quite a bit too.
That's
I'm
fine.
just saying.
There's 5.
Yeah.
So and then Boba Fett gets swallowed up by the Sarlacc pit. Again, not for you, Book Talk girlies. There's number 6.
Oh yeah, I still got the counter going.
Yeah. And we get barge blown up. Now, if you guys have followed this podcast before, you know that I've talked about this movie in the most convoluted ways. 2 guys break into a gangster's home, blow up his yacht, and get away scot-free. In his Return of the Jedi. So, our band of misfits and heroes is brought back together once again, and lo and behold, there's another fucking Death Star. Now, this one is unfinished. Severely unfinished. There's no way they're protecting this one from a raid, an invasion, whatever, because they're not even done building it yet. They could just go in there and blow that shit up again. Well, guess what? That's what our rebel friends do best. Blow up Death Stars.
Yeah,
They
blow
really
shit up.
like taking out them space balls. Get it? Get it? Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
That's also not for you.
Which is yep. Hold on.
number 7, and it wasn't even me.
Which is weird because those are some like oddly misshapen balls. Like one is bigger than the other. You don't usually see that with testicles. Boobs, on the other hand, yeah, sure. But you don't usually see that with testicles, where one's bigger than the other.
Actually,
both.
both.
High class. Both.
But, so they go in, they blow up this Death Star, and no, hold on, we're missing a lot. There's another
We're
battle
missing
between
quite a
Luke
bit.
and Vader. Yeah, like I said, this one's fuzzy for me because it's been a while since I've watched
Yeah,
this one.
so let me try and help you fill in some of the blanks.
I'm gonna
So
let my dog out real
right
quick.
after the rescue, Han takes most of the group except for Luke and C-3PO in the Falcon, and Luke and R2 go fuck off over back to Dagobah, where they find Yoda, who is motherfucking dying because he's fucking old, and that thing kind of tends to happen when you're that fucking old. Yeah, so they go to Dagobah. Fucking Yoda tells him he's ready. Well, he kind of tells him he's ready, but yet not. I don't know. It's that particular part of the movie is pretty fuzzy. While the rest of the gang goes back to Rebel Alliance Command headquarters, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And we're like the only other woman in the galaxy so far.
Let's hope, right?
Well, the joke here is like she might be the only other woman in the galaxy, and Lois / Leia is just immediately like, I don't like her. I don't like her. And funnily enough, in the Family Guy version, this character is portrayed by Angela, Peter's boss, who is voiced by Carrie Fisher. She got to be in 2 different iterations of Star Wars. But where they so and then they do the briefing, which is basically the breakdown of hey, this is the second Death Star. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's just blow it up here by going down this trench and shooting at a port. So yeah, basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So then they gather up the fleet. They're getting everything ready. Luke shows back up, but they figure out that they have to take down.
Dies.
Yeah, after Yoda fucking dies. Okay, so then they take Han, Leia, C-3PO, and some other rebels. They take them on a mission to go destroy the shield generator. So they get down to the planet, and they're caught. Not by the Empire, but by these fuzzy little motherfucking teddy bears, for lack of a better term. By fucking Vietnam teddy bears. That's what I'm going to call them. Fucking Vietnamese goddamn teddy bears, okay? Which is even funnier because in Battlefront 2, you can basically play a Vietnam forest that's infested by Ewoks and you're playing as stormtroopers. So, yeah, it's a blast. Anyway, so they get caught up by these teddy bears. Luke impresses them with his force powers. And they get out of being eaten alive by the fucking teddy bears.
Well, that they worship C-3PO.
Yeah, that and they worship C-3PO. Yeah, don't forget about that part. So C-3PO basically breaks down the plot of the last 2 movies to the Ewoks.
Yeah.
And Luke fucks off to go get himself captured so he can run into Darth Vader and hopefully turn him back to the light side of the Force. So the rest of them go to infiltrate the shield generator for the Death Star. This is where things kind of get fuzzy for me, but we like cut back and forth between the shield generator and Luke on the new Death Star.
Right. And in the conversation with Luke Skywalker, I'm going to call him that now because we've already ruined it. Luke Skywalker and his dad, Anakin, Darth Vader, Vader go, and the Emperor.
Oh, an important revelation is that in before Luke fucks off to go get himself captured, is it's revealed that Leia is Luke's sister. So you know that problem
that happens.
No, it doesn't.
That happens with the conversation with Vader.
No, it doesn't. It happens before
that's
that.
You wanted the Force Ghost. That right? That's on Dagobah. Yeah, he learns that information on Dagobah. That's right.
So, yeah, they figure out that they're brother and sister. Remember that problem back in the Empire Strikes Back we were talking about, where Leia kissed Luke? Yeah, she kissed her fucking brother. Hence why I was doing Sweet Home Alabama earlier, because yeah. Yeah, they find out that
the best to put your sister to the test.
Did you know when you kissed me? Yes, I knew. Alderaan is kind of like Space Kentucky. But
we get the revelation that Leia knew.
Yeah.
Afterwards. That's right.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so Luke and Vader go up to see the Emperor.
Right.
And the Emperor's like, "You could come join us," and he's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Nah. Yeah.
And he's like, "But it's fun," and he goes, "No, we have cookies. No, Mickey Mouse. Oh boy, not yet though."
With the Empire's GA bill, I was able to go back to school.
And Luke says, "Nope, I am a Jedi like my father before me." And there's battle number 2 between Vader and Luke, because Vader took that shit personally.
And in perfect tradition, Obi-Wan must have told him about the high ground thing, because Luke says, "I have the advantage," while he's standing up on a fucking platform that's like about 4 or 5 feet above Vader.
Yeah.
And you gotta imagine Vader's like thoughts at that point. He's like, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna kick Obi-Wan's ass."
He's like, "Not fucking again, you bitch."
He's like, "Did he seriously tell everyone about this? What the fuck?"
If he had every time I've been fought with someone with the high ground, I'd have 2 nickels,
which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice, right? And then we cut back down to the planet where they blow up the generator, the shield generator, and the fleet moves in to attack the Death Star. We get a cool scene of the Millennium Falcon penetrating the Death Star. No, that's not for you book talk girlies. I'll go ahead and add another. Hell yeah, you got There's the reason. I set that one up specifically. And then we cut back to and then we cut back to Luke and Vader fight.
And then Vader's pretty much done at this point in time, so the Emperor takes over. And he starts throwing Force Lightning at him, like he threw it at Mace Windu, and just like Mace Windu, Luke's like, bzz, 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 "That's all you got, old man? Come on." Until he finally gets fucked up and loses his lightsaber again. And is now just being, electrocuted.
Vader sees this and he's like, "God damn it, not this shit again." But I think I'm gonna retract on my previous choice, and I'm gonna go with the other choice this time. So he picks up the Emperor and throws his ass down a shaft.
Hold on. It wasn't just that. Luke starts crying out for his dad. He goes, "Dad, come on,
Father,
come on,
please,
Dad, I know you're in there.
Please.
Father, please." Well, you said please. Look at you, those nice manners.
So glad that Owen and Baru took the time to teach you proper manners. You know what? Just for that, I'm going to help you out.
So he picks up the Emperor and he chucks him down the shaft. And then, now Vader's weakened by the Force Lightning, And Luke takes him over to this Imperial shuttle that they're going to get off of the Death Star with. And Vader's like,
all
hey,
this
take my
is
mask
going
off.
on, the Millennium Falcon is flying through. They finally get to the thing they need to shoot. They shoot the thing and then get the fuck out of there. So while everything is going to shit, basically, Luke takes his dad up to an Imperial shuttle.
Takes his mask off so that Anakin can see Luke with his own eyes and not the mask. And he's like, but that'll kill you. And Anakin's like, I'm your father. Do what the fuck I told you. And so Luke's like, you know what? He's got a point. You are my dad. All right, cool. Takes his helmet off, and he takes his last breath, and Luke takes his body on the shuttle. Oh, he must have died from his injuries at the Emperor
kid. Oh no. Guess I better take his body. Okay.
So he takes his body down to Endor. And the Imperial shuttle flies off as the Death Star goes boom. Then we come back to Han and Leia. Han going, I hope he made it off. Leia going, yeah, he did. I know he did. Cut back to Luke. Luke's burning Darth Vader's body, or Anakin's body, in the Jedi way, much like they did to Qui-Gon Jinn in the first film. And then it's a big old party, and then we find out Leia knew that Luke was his brother or her brother. And then it's like, okay, all right. And then
Leia get
Stormtrooper heads.
Sorry, I had to throw that in. And then we get the three Force ghosts of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Anakin, who I think was digitally replaced sometime shortly after the prequels came out. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 years after the prequels came out is when they digitally swapped whoever it was for Hayden Christensen.
It was 2008 is when they did a digital
That's it, yeah.
swap. 3 years after Revenge of the Sith came out.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is the guy that was the Force Ghost for Anakin before that is the same guy we see with the mask off. It was not. We never see David Prowse at all in the Star Wars universe, other than fully inside the suit. It was not even David Prowse that they took the mask off of, and it was not James Earl Jones they took the mask off of. And that's who they used for the Anakin Force Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. And that was the end of it.
And the Empire was defeated, and everybody lived happily ever after. Until
2017, Disney. Oh, that's a lightsaber. I think I want one of these. I'll buy the whole damn thing.
Disney acquires fucking Star Wars. Disney acquires Lucasfilm.
Lucasfilm, not just Star Wars. Disney gets Indiana Jones and all that, but mostly Star Wars. And Disney sits on it for a little bit. About 2 years, the Disney sits on it. They officially bought them, I think, in 2015. And it takes them 2 years to develop a script, get it written, filmed, and everything else. And in Christmas of 2017, boom, there is number 7, The Force Awakens.
This time in 2015 is when Force Awakens came out.
2015, really?
Yeah,
I think Disney acquired Lucasfilm like, gosh, I'm gonna say like 13.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember watching watching Force Awakens in Georgia with my brother, and that could tell you everything.
Yeah.
With Brandon.
So yeah,
Disney bought Lucasfilm in 2012.
2012. So it's 3 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So they buy it and they immediately say, as soon as Disney bought it, they tell us, we're gonna give you a Star Wars movie. And again, for most of us, we're like,
cool.
Okay, sounds good. We're cool with
It's
that.
like, fuck yeah, another Star Wars movie? I could get behind this shit.
2015 Force Awakens drop, and it follows this nomad, I guess is the best term for Rey.
Yeah.
Hot
Yeah.
ass no man, but no man nonetheless.
Oh yeah, a nomad named Rey. She's walking around this planet called Batu that takes a striking resemblance to Tatooine. And yeah, it's been so long since I've seen these movies. All I know is they piss me off. Not because they're bad, in all honesty. Like when it comes to this trilogy, 7, 8, 9, they're not bad. They're just not the direction I wished we would have gone with Star Wars.
Right.
I'll put it like that. They're like, they gave us. I think they closed out the stories of Luke, Han, and Leia pretty well. But
no, not really Luke, but that's my
Luke.
beef.
Well, they close his story well, but what they did with him, I don't agree with.
I don't think they closed the story all that well, but whatever. That's my beef with the yeah.
Fair,
that's my thing.
I never liked what they did with Luke. I will say that.
I feel like my opinion is like what they did with Luke does not close his story out well at all. Like, yes, they closed it, but I don't think they closed it well.
Yeah.
Because of what they did with him.
Right. But basically, to summarize this, Rey meets Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is the new bad guy. Kylo Ren is Han Solo and Leia's daughter. Son. Yeah.
It's easily, no, I can see the confusion.
Again, like I said,
don't hate on Ben Solo like that. Go fuck yourself. Because that whole part is the best part of
I'm not hating on Adam Driver. I'm hating on Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren is a bitch and deserves to be hated on. Ben Solo, however, Solo is Anakin Skywalker, and Darth Vader is Kylo Ren. Like, fuck Kylo Ren, but Ben Solo, we love him. And again, I want to preface this, like, I want to sum up this trilogy real quick, because I mean we're drawn on at this point.
Yeah.
I want to sum up this trilogy. I think it was. These movies weren't written for us. Okay, so the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, those were written for the teenagers of that time. 1, 2, and 3, those were written for the kids and teenagers of that time. That was us. 7, 8, and 9 were written for the kids of that time. Right? That was written for the younger generation. We're not supposed to. It's not that we're not supposed to like them. It's that we're not going to, because we don't understand.
That's false. I like them.
I was about to say there are parts of them that I do like.
I like them. I like them, but I don't love them.
I don't love them. They're not the prequel. They're not.
I was about to say I don't love them like I love the prequels, like I love the original trilogy. But they're okay.
I like them.
They're at least decent.
And I don't like when people dog on them so hard. I do get people's qualms with them, but they're not that bad.
Yeah, I have qualms with them. Like I said, like, again, what they did with Luke Skywalker is very much not who we saw.
Yeah.
In 4, 5, and 6. That's one of my qualms. One of my other qualms is in the first one, we see Finn ignite a lightsaber, and for the longest time in Star Wars lore, you're only supposed to be able to ignite one if you have Force capability. And they never did anything with it. It was such a big defining moment of that movie, and they went nowhere with it.
Well, and here's the thing. That they kind of fucked up then not explaining it in the original trilogy, because in Empire, Han turns on fucking Luke/Anakin's lightsaber and cuts the fucking tauntaun open, if you think about it.
That is true. That is true. But, again, though, I mean, but the way he wields it, though, the way he wields the saber, it just seems like they could have done something with that. They should have done something with that.
Yeah, because the way he wields it, because
I don't hate the actors whatsoever. Again, Daisy Ridley, and the other two, I don't hate their actors. I
just think that they could have. It was lacking. I don't hate them.
It was
I still like
very
them,
lacking.
but it was very much so lacking. I think that honestly, the route that they took with Ray's backstory, I didn't really like.
Yeah.
Like I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
be
Ray's
real.
backstory was kind of a cop out, if you ask
Yeah,
me. That's
Yeah,
what it, that's
everything.
what it felt
I'm gonna be
like.
for real.
Yeah.
Everything was pointing to her being Luke's daughter.
Right, and then
It
all of a
felt like.
sudden she's a Palpatine, and it's like, okay, when the fuck no motherfucker find time to have kids?
Well,
And
I
who
mean,
the
No,
think
fuck's
about
the
for
it.
fucking
In
real.
the
Palpatine?
last movie, like they don't even explain it. They're just like somehow he returned. Like what the fuck? Like you guys were just
Yeah,
Right,
pulling shit
because
out of your ass at
the
this point.
right,
yeah that is the one of my biggest beefs is
right,
the Palpatine relation to Ray. It makes no sense to me.
right. But when
None
she sat there
whatsoever.
at the end of the film, and controversy aside, actually, for the sake of controversy, fuck all of you that say she's not a Skywalker.
That's fair.
Rey was set up in those movies until she finds out she's a Palpatine. Rey in those stories was set up to be a Skywalker. Every single one of us saw it. Every single one of us who loved those movies knew she was going to be Luke's daughter, which was going to make it a little funny with Ben, but that's okay. Well, Leia and
Well,
Luke kiss, and we didn't care about
it would
that. So I
kind
guess
of
we can
parallel
get
the
along with
fucking.
cousins fucking.
It would parallel Luke and Leia at that point.
Right. But like I said, I don't hate the movies. I like them, but
But
they
they
were
could have
definitely
also
missing
played it
so
in a
much.
platonic way too.
Right.
They could have
Yeah.
totally played it because they don't really like do any. They don't kiss until the third installment of the sequels. So
Yeah.
like
And
they could have totally played it like a platonic soulmate or like a
what you did.
familial
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
And then another missed opportunity in relationship, which I know would have, honest to God, dragged Star Wars and Disney through the fucking coals, and still would. Him and Finn should have ended up together. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay, Poe and Finn were fucking goals. Okay, those two, you could cut the sexual tension in that TIE fighter with a knife. Okay, that shit should have happened. But that's beside the point. I think what, honest to God, though, really irritates me though about 7, 8, and 9 is that when Disney continued to expand on the Star Wars universe, they left those movies. They said that was it for them. They left them. They gave us Mandalorian, which I love Mandalorian.
Oh,
Don't get me
Mandalorian's
wrong. I
good.
absolutely love Mandalorian. However, I wanted to see more of Poe, Rey, and Finn.
I still haven't been able to get through Mandalorian.
Well,
They
and
gave us the Book of
here's
Boba
the
Fett,
other thing.
I like the Book of Boba Fett, but there's so much more they should have done with that.
Boba Fett was just Mandalorian season 2.5. Like that's honestly, the best way to put it.
But it just, what they did to Boba Fett with the Book of Boba, the Book of Boba Fett feels like Solo to me. The way they did Han in Solo is the exact same way they did Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. They didn't. They took away from their badassery in a way to me, but I don't hate them. Again, I will watch the Book of Boba Fett again because I enjoy Tamara Morrison, who played Jango Fett, played
and
the
Boba
clones in the live action, and now he got to come back to play the grown-up Boba Fett because, of course, Boba Fett is also a clone of Jango Fett. But this one was allowed to grow.
Here's the other thing about like the Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, those shows that came out like right after the sequels. So originally, what the plan was the Mandalorian and similar things coming out at that time were supposed to completely undo the sequel trilogy. That was the original plan. Was Mandalorian, so on and so forth, was going to undo what the sequel trilogy had put forth. And you can kind of see it in like those like that first couple seasons of Mandalorian. You can really see how they were trying to pivot away from the sequel trilogy. And once we kind of got around to the next season, so on and so forth, everything else that was coming out, they pivoted back to this is all going to lead up to the sequel trilogy and kind of explain what happens behind the scenes and so on and so forth.
Right, because I know that like I said, I knew that because again, Disney caught so much flack because of 7, 8, and 9.
Yes.
The original, the original Star Wars fans, and then the fans of our age came out just like the original fans did when the prequels came out, and just shit all over it. And again, and I'll be honest, at first with 7, 8, and 9, I was that guy. I was that guy sitting there saying these are shit. These weren't that good. Hashtag this is not my Luke Skywalker, which is a play on hashtag that's not my president. That was going around at that time. I was that guy until I started to really take into account that no, I don't want my voice to be lended to the hate of Daisy Ridley and that crew, that cast, the way the older generation's voices were. Mom's got him. Hold on one second.
That looks just like honey. That's his name from Unexpected.
I mean, okay, so like for me, almost kind of on that same note, I was just happy that new Star Wars movies were coming out at that time. I didn't really give it too much thought until they kind of came to like streaming services and stuff like that, and I actually kind of just sat down and just kind of watched them all the way through. That I didn't start really developing any really negative opinions. There was some moments in the second one where I was like, okay, come on, what the
Sorry
fuck?
about that. Yeah,
but at the time,
I
I was just happy that new Star Wars movies were coming out.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm in that same boat. I was happy with the new Star Wars is coming out, but like I said, when they did Luke, in that second movie, when they sit there and said that he went after and tried to kill Kylo Ren and everything, it's like, no, Luke wouldn't have done that. That's not Luke Skywalker. That is Luke is what Anakin was supposed to be. Luke is the embodiment of what Anakin was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Anakin was two people, not just because he was Darth Vader and Anakin. No, Anakin was always two people. There was his rebellious side, which is Leia, and there was his by the book, by the laws, for the good of the people side, which was Luke. And so when they did that in that movie, it really pissed me off, and that's when I started my spiral of this is not my Luke. I really turned into that guy that hated those movies, and it wasn't until I started really looking at what I was saying and realizing that Daisy Ridley and that cast was getting so much hate for it that I was like, no, I'm not doing this. Mm-hmm. Because that's what caused Hayden Christensen to not come back out of hiding with Star Wars until 2021. And the same with Ahmed Best. Again, I mentioned him earlier and how much it was so wonderful to see him come back in Mandalorian, because Ahmed Best had, when he made his triumphant return to Star Wars, and mentioned and admitted that because of the hate comments he got as Jar Jar Binks, being Jar Jar Binks, he damn near killed himself. He got to a point where he wanted to kill himself, and it wasn't for his family and friends, he would not be here to have made that triumphant return to Star Wars and get his flowers.
Well, and some people didn't come
back. Place.
Some people didn't come back from that first trilogy. I mean, you have the first Anakin, the kid who played Anakin in the first
Jake
movie.
Lloyd, who unfortunately, Jake Lloyd is now starting to get his flowers. Now, finally. But he turned to drugs and a life of crime, and unfortunately just went down a hole that so many people do when they get to a point where all they're met with is hate. And I was like, I'm not doing this to this cast, because it's, even if I don't like some of the things that they did, that the movies did, it's not their fault. They're there because they are portraying this role. They're there because
Right.
this is what's written. That's
Well,
why they're
also,
doing it.
most of your qualms with it aren't even then.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's another
it's
thing.
with
They did with the original cast, and
yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
be
the
real,
Right.
they're not that fucking important in the sequels. They're
No,
not
and they're
supposed
not.
to be.
And right, and that's why like I said, that's why I've grown on it now to be to understand all that and say, no, I actually like these movies. I do. I like I said, I have qualms with them for what
Mhm.
they did to the original cast because it went against some of their characters. I have qualms with Kylo Ren, and I have qualms with Rey was not a Skywalker, and I have qualms with Finn did not become a Jedi. But other than that, and those are very minor details in their stories. Those are very minor details throughout the entire fucking movies. I mean, other than the Luke one, which is the whole reason why Luke is off on his own, fucking around, drinking blue milk straight from the titty. But know, they're very minor, and so it's so easy for me to slip past it and go, okay, let me sit down. Once I reached that headspace, I sat down and
Yeah,
rewatched those
and that's
films and gave them an honest to god go.
and I think that if people would just fucking realize, if these old
Yeah.
farts would just fucking sit down and realize your original trio, just like the prequel trio,
Yeah.
is not going to be the main focus of this trilogy.
Yeah.
So just come to terms with that. Sit back
Yeah.
and enjoy what you get. Like that's
Now,
that's how I go into like any remake is okay, it's gonna
yeah.
be what it's or fuck. Game adaptations. Any game adaptation. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh well, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. However, Zach Krieger. Stop.
You're a different
Remake.
story.
Yeah, no.
We'll get to you
Resident
on another episode.
Yeah, no, but Real Talksies, if y'all haven't seen it, watch the fucking Resident Evil trailer when y'all get off. It's ass.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, no, I just wish people would just fucking take a minute and be like, okay, these are new characters. This is gonna be a new storyline, new arcs, new things. And just
And in all honesty,
enjoy things.
I think really honest to God, where Disney fucked up is following the remake line, which is if you
Yeah.
do a remake of a film, bringing some of the original cast back into the film. I know that they wanted to link 4, 5, and 6 to 7, 8, 9. That's what you want to do. You want to bring in these older Star Wars fans. But just having the title Star Wars, that would have done it for us. Star Wars The Force Awakens, when it was announced, everyone was ready. We had no idea Han and Leia were going to return, let alone Luke at the end of the film. That came out as the movie started to get close to release and we got the trailers. I think, in all honesty, if Disney had left them entirely out of the fucking stories, other than mentions and maybe cameo appearances, I think it would have honestly, done a little bit better.
I disagree because I think Leia adds too much to Rey's story.
That's fair.
She's a driving force behind Rey's confidence, and I think without Leia, I don't think Rey would have became what she became.
That's fair.
I don't think
That's
she would have matched. Yeah,
that is 100% true.
Maybe, but I don't think you can bring back Leia without bringing back Han in some shape or form, even if it's just in passing or talking about him.
Right.
But you could do that, but
and again,
I don't know.
killing Kylo Ren, killing Han Solo was such a major part of Ben's eventual return back to the light side as well. So,
yep.
But like I said, if the stories had been completely different, like I said, if they hadn't followed the remake mold that was there, and they had just come up with their own ideas, and then said, okay, this character is a Skywalker from Luke's bloodline, and this one's a Solo from Han's bloodline, and they're going to link up together, and they're going to take on the galaxy as rebels with this new Imperial force.
Well,
I think it would have been okay.
on
But
that
again,
note,
that's not what we got.
on that
you know.
note, Disney has. I think this kind of started the problem. Disney has a problem with making up their own fucking ideas. So I think that's part of the reason we kind of got like the remake mold that we got. And I think that kind of started it to where Disney's like, oh yeah, we should just remake everything. Fuck it, check in the fucking bucket.
Honestly, I also think that if I'm gonna be real, I think what would have fixed it, maybe not completely, but what would have fixed it if they had made Rey Luke's daughter.
Yeah.
What would have? I mean,
Yeah.
you think about not just because you add in. You say that you wouldn't have done that with Ben, which valid. He wouldn't have gone after Kylo. Valid.
Well,
but what would have happened to Luke if he had to leave his daughter behind?
Right.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
here's my question.
It would have
and
probably
this is not
fixed that qualm for me.
I was about to say, and here's my question. Well, this is more of hey, what's your theory on this? Who would Luke have hooked up with to birth Rey?
Could have been anybody. I mean, literally.
Because if you go into some of the novels,
Luke is roughly,
Luke does have a partner. In some of the books and some of the other continuations that I think one of them is called Mara Jade or something like that.
Yes, that's Mara Jade is the one I was going to say.
Personally, what I would have wanted Disney to do, given their vast technology and resources, is have you guys read the books by Timothy Zahn?
No.
You guys should give those a read. They are fucking amazing continuations after 4, 5, and 6. I wish they would have I'm still happy with what we got, but it would have been cool to see those books adapted into the new films. But yeah,
I will
say,
their lineage all fucked up in the sequels too? Isn't Ben supposed to be Luke's kid? In certain things,
I don't remember. I know Han and Leia have twins. They don't have just one.
They don't just have the one kid.
I think Ben Solo is one of the twins. I could be wrong.
And the reason
I think it's.
I know that Ben is Luke's in some of them because the whole reason he's named Ben is after old Ben Kenobi after Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Right, and why? Yeah. That's. Yeah, because that was one of the things that raised a flag for me because everything I knew about the timeline and the lineage after was that Ben was Luke's.
Yeah.
So that kind of
Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. Really good fucking book. Really focused kind of on Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is a very interesting character, especially in these books. So,
But I don't know who else I could picture, but that's the only other.
Mm-hmm.
You said given the technology, I think you were gonna bring somebody up.
Because these books take place about 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and obviously, if Disney did that, they would have to de-age them quite a bit. But Disney's got a fuck ton of resources that they could have fucking done it. Obviously, from
for sure.
A perfect example being Rogue One. They did that beautifully. So they could have done it, but I can see why they wouldn't per se. But yeah, that's just my 2 bits on it. So.
Well, I mean, in the case of de-aging them and stuff like that, in the case of Rogue One, I know for that one shot with Princess Leia for Rogue One, I think that cost upwards of $500,000 to do.
Yeah,
that was a third of the budget.
Rhea mom. I mean, could have literally been somebody that he met up with and she dumped a baby with him. Who knows? You know,
Right.
Yeah.
there's
You
so
know,
many ways they could have done it.
again, though, anyway, those films, they're good for what they are. For some Star Wars fans, again, I mean, me and John say this quite a bit on our Star Trek podcast. For some Star Wars fans, this is going to be their holy grail, just like 1, 2, and 3 are ours. Revenge of the Sith is our holy grail. Someone is going to feel the same way about 7, 8, and 9. They're going to love those movies through and through because that's the ones they grew up with. Those are the ones they remember getting into Star Wars with. And it's valid for them to do so. It's wonderful for them to do so. But some of the other adaptations that we've gotten. So again, we get to see Luke Skywalker again. In Mandalorian, with the de-aging process, again, they had a stand-in for Luke Skywalker, or for Mark Hamill, and then digitally brought his face onto the stand-in. And this one did not go so well because they did it within the TV show budget instead of the movie budget, so it did not look as good as Carrie Fisher in Rogue One. But I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I'll say that.
Have you seen the de-aging, the AI de-aging of Will for Stranger Things?
No, I haven't, not yet.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it that bad?
No, it's not that bad, but it's not excellent. I mean, like everyone. Okay, everyone compares. What's his name? The guy that plays Bucky Barnes.
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan. That's right.
My man.
Everyone says that Sebastian Stan looks like Mark Hamill. A younger Mark Hamill. And in a lot of ways, I can agree, but I never fully agreed until I watched Mandalorian when they brought Luke back. The CGI makes it look like Sebastian Stan and not Mark Hamill. I'll be 100%. Which, mind you, makes me want Sebastian Stan to play Mark Hamill in a film, or his son in a film even more. I'll say that.
So
we had the Ahsoka series, which tied into Mandalorian as well. And then one other series I forgot to take the pause in between Attack of the Clones. Another pause in between. Before Rogue One and right after Revenge of the Sith, we get the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which sets up everything else for why Leia knows Obi-Wan Kenobi. And first and foremost, that show is phenomenal. I don't care what your take is. If it's anything other than that show is phenomenal, you are fucking wrong. Secondly, Vivian Lyra Blair is so unfortunate that Carrie Fisher is unable to see her portray her, because I know damn well Carrie Fisher would shower that little girl in everything she wanted in life for how well she portrayed little Leia on that show. She brought everything that is Leia into the show, just being herself, and I love her wholeheartedly. Shortly after the show came out, we actually got to go. Vivian Lyra Blair was coming to one of the cons near us, and we took my daughter to go meet her and have her Lola signed. And my daughter was like, "Oh, we finally get to see someone my size at one of these things. That's cool." She went to stage. She wanted to talk to her for like 20 minutes, and Vivian, dear God, was willing to give my daughter all the time in the world to talk to her. But Artie, I love my daughter. This was, a couple years ago. Could not understand why Vivian did not have Lola with her, because she kept trying to ask for Lola. Of course, Lola being the LOLA droid. Of course, little Leia is with all the time in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. We also, in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, get, again, this was Hayden Christensen coming back to Star Wars. We got to see him as Anakin again, as the Padawan Anakin. We also got to see him for the first time in the Darth Vader suit, because in 3, in Revenge of the Sith, Darth Vader is also another stand-in. It's not Hayden Christensen in that suit. So we got to see him in the suit for the first time in the show. And then, of course, we get the return of Qui-Gon Jinn and Liam Neeson coming back to reprise the role as a Force ghost in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I cannot say I can't say enough good things about it. Just like Mandalorian. Again, season 1 of Mandalorian, I can attest. Season 1 of Mandalorian, it drags for a little bit. It really does. But by season 2, it's getting to the good shit. I have not really seen the Ahsoka series yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. Rosario Dawson gets to come up and play Ahsoka Tano in this.
Mm-hmm.
And we do get to see Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka in Mandalorian, which, like I said, is the tie-in to her own, her own show. But, with the Star Wars content that Disney has put out, I mean, as much as people can bitch about it, they have made good shit too. Damn a whole thing.
Andor, which I still haven't seen.
I have not seen Andor.
But I've heard nothing but good things about Andor.
Have y'all watched the Darth Maul show yet?
Not yet.
No.
I want to watch that real bad too.
It looks really good.
The Darth Maul show, is that live action or is it animated?
I think it's animated.
I think it's animated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting Sam Witwer.
Maul,
okay, I was wondering.
I think it's called Maul's Shadow Lord or something.
If they're doing live action, if we don't get Ray Park,
but I can confirm it is Sam.
Okay, I was about to say, like, if they're doing live action and we don't get Ray Park coming back to at least embody Darth Maul, I'll be pissed. But for the Star Wars universe, though, I mean, to wrap this up, guys, there's so much out there. Go find what it is that makes you, want to be one with the Force.
Favorite before we close this out.
Yeah.
Favorite fun fact from Star Wars.
My favorite fun fact from Star Wars is Alan Tudyk talking about his time filming K2SO with Anthony Daniels, who is famously C-3PO. They got to meet up at a convention, and Anthony was talking about how he got to wear the full suit and everything. They made it perfectly for him. And Alan Tudyk from across the room goes, "They made you a suit? You know what they did? They put me on stilts with a stupid head on top of me and made me wear polka dots." And it's so hilarious to watch the two of them bug out about the shit they had to do. Because Anthony, again in this interview, Anthony Daniels is, of course, bitching about how hot it was in that suit. And Alan Tudyk's like, "I had to wear polka dots. Fuck you."
That's great. Yeah, Alan Tudyk as K2SO is phenomenal work. What about you, John?
Probably back when the original trilogy was coming out. Luke had an idea, but Harrison had no idea that Darth Vader was going to be Luke's father. So when that happened in the movie, Harrison just kind of leaned over to Mark and was like, "Hey, kid, you didn't fucking tell me that."
Tell me that.
And yeah, so that one's probably my favorite.
All right, Ben, what's yours?
Mine is that E.T. and Star Wars are in the same universe.
Oh yeah. In the Galactic
you
Senate
can
scene
see
in
little
Attack of the Clones, you can see the E.T. guys.
Yep.
I also have another one. I love this one. I gotta tell this one because it's my favorite. It's my favorite Star Wars story going to a theater. So this was when Rogue One came out. Me and some friends were gonna go see Rogue One, Okay, we obviously had not seen it yet, but there were some assholes outside the theater. Just being complete fucking dicks, being loud, being rude, obnoxious, throwing shit at at each other, and it would hit other people because they'd miss.
Oh, I'd
And
fucking
they're like,
fight.
"Yeah, we're so ready to see Rogue One." And I said to go, "Yeah, they all die at the end." We get in there, and me and my buddies were in the same movie theater as these guys. And we realized that because at the end of the movie, that son of a bitch ruined it for us.
Hmm?
I had no idea. I hadn't watched it yet. Right out there outside the theater, I ruined it for myself, for those assholes, and for all my buddies.
I was about to say one more thing
That's
I'd
all.
like to add because it's a topic we haven't really covered this episode, but one we usually cover every episode. For all you Star Wars fans and horror fans out there, so like Ben, I'm looking at you. There is a
not for you, Book Talk girlies.
well, not really, unless you get off to necrophilia. So there is a Star Wars horror novel out there called Death Troopers. Death Troopers is what it's called. It's a horror story that's set in the Star Wars universe. It's a zombie horror novel. It is a really
kind of dope.
It is a really good read, a really good listen if you prefer audiobooks. I have it.
Huh.
And I listened to it, and I thought it was really good. It's probably about the only piece of horror media that I actually kind of like.
No, that's
like
great.
actual horror media. So.
All right. Yeah, I might have to get that.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for a little bit of a longer episode.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week. This is your mayor. I'm signing it off, and may the 4th be with you.